song stuck in my head.
Who's that?
Who?
Who's Chowder?
He's like a raccoon or a dog
Or both.
or a bear. I actually don't
Like in
know.
your
He's some
neighborhood?
kind of he's some kind of animal we've all been befriending. Yeah.
Hey,
and he's got a theme
girl,
song that he comes around with.
What you doing?
You take the moon.
Hey, girl.
And you
That show
take the
sucks.
sun. What, Chowder?
Who's
No,
that
New Girl.
girl?
New Girl's good.
New Girl's horrendous.
Who's that
No, New Girl's
girl?
New Girl's like young Sheldon territory.
New Girl's
It's
not
sad.
young Sheldon territory. That's crazy.
Not crazy.
Not crazy. That's crazy. That's
They never
crazy.
even name her.
The
She's
girl?
just a new girl the whole time.
she's always new somehow. They keep moving sets, so it makes
She's
sense
always
for her.
new.
She's
They
in
keep
a different
moving sex.
She's in a different state every episode. They only had 50. Well, 51. They went to DC.
52, they went to Puerto Rico.
I was going to say 53 they went to Guam.
54, they went to American Samoa.
I read somewhere that we're the only empire left because we still have like territories that aren't technically part of us. Is that not
What about
true?
Greenland?
I don't know. What about Greenland?
Belongs to Denmark.
Okay. That's why I was saying it out loud, because I read that somewhere. And I was wrong, I guess.
Did you read it on
Greenland belongs to Denmark?
I'mAnIdiot.org?
Yeah. And
No, I didn't read it on
I'm pretty sure it's
I'mAnIdiot.org.
And there's a country or part of I think it's French Guiana is technically France. It's not like a
That
French
checks out.
territory. Like it
Correct.
counts as France. Isn't that
Yes.
sick?
Interesting. So French
it's
Guiana is just France?
And it's just chilling at the top of South America.
Yeah, it's France.
Huh.
Like you're just in France.
We should burn down all the banks.
I agree. How are we starting this bitch?
Seth wanted to sing the Chowder theme song.
Yeah, that was just an idea I had. I don't want to do it though.
The other thing I had
It's
is
a bad idea.
We could do anything, but because we met in the bracket, it's just you guys. Like we start with something, you guys immediately go, "Fuck you, Lyle! I'm not over it yet. It's a season later. Fuck you, Lyle."
We did mention that, yeah.
You said that you were going to yell "Fuck you, Lyle."
Yeah.
At the start of season 7, so
I think we have to then, right? New beginnings, new us.
Okay, yeah, we'll
same
talk about
hatred
Lyle.
for Lyle.
But what are we talking about before you guys start saying "Fuck you, Lyle"?
It won't matter. We can get it in early.
I think the first thing we say is "fuck you, Lyle," and then there's like a second hesitation, and then we go into some like intro that everyone knows we have planned out. You like ignore us, and you start a new. So we need to find a new intro.
Or in that vein, Brandon's like, "Yeah, we got to move on. Like this is the past. We're about the future." And then he tries to talk about something, and we bring it back to fucking Lyle.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna stick my little dick in his tight little crocodile ass. Yeah, I think we say that.
Yeah. No lube.
Good. No lube. Raw dog and crocodiles.
Big
dogging them.
What's the movie next week?
We're doing Cocaine Bear next week.
Ooh.
What's Alex's birthday choice?
Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist.
Okay.
I pick Rashomon.
Rashomon's great.
Were you really Rock Hard Cumstock though?
No, I have no idea who that was.
No
idea.
Because you didn't respond in the Discord after. You were like, "Hey, can I have movie suggestions?" It's like,
yeah,
okay,
I
was like, "Can I? I'll give you some." But who were you actually? Rock Hard Cumstock? No answer after that.
Dead air.
And Mitch is just like some dude with a cool ass name.
Yeah, Mitch was so happy. He loved it.
Happy. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna go to the schedule and put in Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist.
I think I did add them on there though, so maybe they're on my friends list and I can ask them personally.
You can put Brighter Summer Day on there.
Is that really what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay, so Seth, when it's Lucas's birthday one, he picked a 4-hour film.
Nice.
So you're gonna have to be here at like 10 a.m.
That's fine.
Okay.
Taiwanese epic teen crime drama.
What's it called? A Bright Summer Day?
Brighter Summer Day.
Yeah.
Just brighter or a brighter?
Brighter than yours. I could add Neil Knockenbacher. I'm gonna add him. on Discord.
Okay, now all that's left is we need to finalize our masterpiece sci-fi film and Seth's birthday choice.
He just said it.
I didn't know if that was actually legit.
No, I'll think of something.
Because Skateboard Kid's still in the running.
Yeah. Okay, Comstock doesn't exist.
Yeah, I know.
He never was. Damn. Okay, let's get on with it.
So what are we gonna talk about after our intro? Or after fuck you, Lyle?
You just do like a little ditty about it's season 7 now, moving on, and then we're not letting you move on.
Okay. I will say all that kind of shit, and then you guys will just keep fuck you Lyling. Sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
I'm getting mad at a crocodile.
As you normally do.
It's my motivation. Nice. Good stretch. Good stretch.
All right. You ready, Lukey?
I hate this little thing on my lip. This, whatever this is called.
Fultrum.
The philtrum.
Filtrum.
The
The
sternum.
nose valley.
Mm.
No, yeah.
Mine's more
The,
like a canyon.
the butt nose. The
Yeah.
butt lip.
The butt lip.
Okay, are we ready?
Yeah.
All right. Wait, I hear Marina. Marina. Huh? Was it thunder?
Oh my god, it was so loud. Like it scared me, and I was in the kitchen.
Oh my god.
Was it thunder?
Yeah, it was so loud.
I didn't hear
It was
anything.
so scary, and then it instantly started raining.
If you want, well, I guess you're gonna be gone. You can leave this door open if they want to roam in and out of here, just to be near us. And you can turn off the lights in the basement just so that they're not. If it's like a dark place for them to kind of hide.
Do you like hiding in the dark?
Yeah, he's probably that. Where's Lou at?
He's curled up on the couch shaking.
Okay.
He died.
Okay.
He didn't die, Lucas.
I'm about to leave.
Okay.
I just came to check on the dogs because I heard it.
Yeah.
It was so loud.
Thanks for letting me know. I love you. Drive carefully out there, apparently. I hear maybe a little bit of rain coming down.
It like instantly started raining.
Where are you going?
It must have been right.
Oh,
It must
you're
have
okay,
been
Caesar.
right.
He's probably going to go into the bathroom.
In the dark.
Yeah.
Bye, buddy.
All right. I love you, honey.
Mm,
Okay.
you love your wife.
I do love my wife.
Be gay.
It's not gay to love my wife.
It's a little. Anyway, don't.
Lucas, keep your eye out for the social media posts coming out for the bracket. Seth and I did a photo shoot with our bros where we're like, the first one's like us just like flexing and being cool. The second one is the classic bro pose where we're holding the back of each other's heads about to kiss.
Were we
It's
holding? I
classic.
don't remember holding it back. We should have done that. I don't think we were doing that.
We should have.
Yeah,
I was
because Lucas hasn't
stroking
seen us
your
almost
chin.
kiss enough times. Make sure you look out for it. On
Yeah,
social
make sure you-
media.
Hi, boys.
Hello.
Okay, let's do this. You boys hang out in there. It'll be darker. Yeah. Okay.
Let's do this thing.
Alrighty. 1, 2, 3. Play.
Fuck you, Lyle.
No, I know we said we're doing this in the bracket,
And
but
No,
we're
we
doing
get
it
one more
anyway.
chance. Yeah.
We're
Fuck
not-
you,
One
Lyle.
more chance.
it's been
one more
four-
chance.
it's-
it's
Bad
been 4
acting.
months.
Bad
takes.
acting.
It's been 4 months. I think we can give it up. This is season
Brandon
7.
just muted Lucas in an act
No.
of tyranny.
No,
oh my
he-
god,
oh,
he can't talk.
No, this is season 7.
You
This is my birthday
You
episode.
fascist.
We're not
didn't
shitting
give
on
it
Lyle.
enough time. Lyle
we didn't
is
hate him enough.
This is my birthday episode. We're doing
a-
something
a
different.
bile-
No,
Bile.
he's not
Because
bile.
he's acid.
bad.
He's sick.
he belongs up in the gallows along with Little Nicky and some of our other worst treatments. Hang
In the
crocodile.
gallows. Hang the crocodile. Hang the
Hang
crocodile.
the crocodile. Hang
And
the
this
crocodile.
is Chef.
Fuck you, Lyle.
Yeah. Chef could probably cook up Lyle pretty good.
Oh, I bet he
Yeah,
could.
New
Yeah,
Orleans
Lyle was
style.
actually in this movie.
Oh, he was that crocodile head in New
He was the
Orleans.
beignet.
He was the best.
He was a puff pastry coated in powdered sugar.
Lou, you okay, buddy? Come
Hey
here.
guys, if you hear my dogs, it's because my dogs are terrified right now with a giant thunderstorm going on. But Ginger always makes a scene anyway, and Lucas usually
He makes
screams
an
"ow,
appearance.
fuck, ow" at some point
Got
during
him
it.
right
so.
now.
He makes the scene.
Hey guys, it's season 7, and it's my birthday episode.
Season 7. This is all
Ooh.
about me for the next 16 weeks.
Get ready
Yeah.
to know.
I'm not Big Dog anymore. I've turned
Eat,
into
breathe, and live Seth Ryan Tigner,
There we go.
son of Cecilia and Levi.
You're weird.
But it is my birthday episode. I didn't have a birthday episode technically last year because it started with Seth being like, I need a birthday episode. So we started a birthday episode kind of thing. And then Alex was pissed because she's like, hey, we didn't do a birthday episode for me. I was like, Seth started this shit in July. So now we're doing it.
Yes.
I didn't make a scene about it. I was just like, hey, can I pick a movie for a birthday? You were like, sure.
Yes,
like,
but now
You were like, we
Making
have
it
to
sound
do
like I threw a fit.
You were like, we have to do a 3-hour podcast on Pokemon.
I did.
we
cry.
did. That was
We got so drunk that
the nadir
episode.
of this podcast. And now we have a wholly unique selection process to this podcast where Brandon picks it for once.
Yeah, I've never picked a film so far.
It's so
I
exciting.
know that was heavily poisoned with irony.
I mean, I usually try and pick things that are like that might be like really good for the podcast. I just picked this movie because I really enjoy it. So I did
Or-
pick this one for
Or
me.
stuff that's not directed by women.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
things that Lucas suggests. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
all of-
Hey, Lucas, can you pick a movie for my birthday choice?
I'm at
No,
the
I-
other 51 episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had a couple that I was torn between. I thought about Bad Words, Jason Bateman comedy. I thought about Don't Think Twice, a Mike Birbiglia dramedy. This was in the running, and then I just thought, fuck it, let's do Interstellar. I was like, that might be a little heavy of a topic to start season 7. So I ended up with Chef from 2014, and I got some questions for you guys.
I'm chefing.
Shoot.
You're Sethin.
Ooh.
Ooh. Is Lucas like,
Kicking it.
no.
He's not.
He is
He
not.
isn't.
That's our season 7. Instead of he is, it's just he isn't.
Yeah.
Questions for
We're
you
all
guys.
negative.
First one. Do you like cooking?
At times, I did it professionally for a while.
Mm.
I'm sure Seth did his in some fashion as well.
Mm-hmm.
I have not. So you guys are both better cooks than me.
I like cooking at home. It's fun at home, but at work, it's like, I don't want to cut this tomato.
Well, why would you ever cut a tomato at home? You hate them.
Yeah. That's the
point.
Strictly for throwing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's for booing Brandon when he walks into
Yeah.
a room.
My other question for you guys is, do you like being a male that has
Yeah.
significantly hotter female counterparts than them?
That's me my whole life, brother. I've been out kicking my coverage for 26 years.
It's crazy the league came up with that. That may have been the most lasting impression from the league. Out kicking your coverage.
Was that where it started?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Good for them.
Good for them. Well, if you answered yes to like king cooking or being a male and having way more attractive female counterparts than yourself, you've come to the right place. This is the good, the bad, and the movies. And kicking off season 7, we did Chef from 2014. Had either of you guys heard of or seen the film before?
Hadn't seen it. I heard it was a little piece.
That could mean anything.
I heard it was
it-
a charmer. Yeah.
I heard it was a movie.
Little bitty movie this Jon Favreau made. I like Jon Favreau. For a
You
while.
do, even though he has a large
That was-
realm in
that-
like
that was
Marvel
my
and
disclaimer. Yeah.
Yeah.
For a
Large.
while, I liked him.
Belly.
he does have a large belly too,
Mhm.
Seth. Yes. And you hadn't seen, but you'd heard of.
No.
Oh, you hadn't heard of either.
No.
Marina hadn't heard of it either, or heard of it but didn't recognize it at all. And was like, it's Chef. There's also a Netflix there's also a Netflix TV show where it's like behind the scenes of them like cooking things in the food truck called The Chef Show, which I enjoy as well.
Yeah, I do. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, okay, that's fine.
Sorry.
So before we get into it, we're drinking beers. I had a couple options. I thought trying to find something like Latin Cuban vibe drinks. I thought let's find something that has a food truck or like food truck synonymous things on it, or just wine because you cook a lot with wine. So Seth and I could just drink some red wine.
Dumb.
Seth was like, "What are we gonna do next time we do a cooking show? Oil?
Yeah, we just drink oil."
What was the verdict?
So I was just looking at beers at Town and Country here in Billings, and I ended up finding one called Wheels Goes Around. It's a gose.
Nice. What's a gose?
Yeah,
Grape
Seth
rosé.
looked it up.
Yeah, it's like a sour beer, but the specific distinction is fermenting with salt. So
Instead of wheat.
well, there's certain bacteria they use for sour beers that give it the acidic sour flavor from it.
Okay.
So gose is very similar to that, but there's a salt, so it almost cuts on some of the acidity, unless you put, like too much. But yeah.
Unless you put sulfuric acid in it.
Yeah, and kill everybody.
Yeah.
Then it won't taste like a sour beer.
Interesting.
Hi, buddy.
It's also from Left Hand Brewing Company, and I'm left-handed, so
Yeah, it all added up. It was
it's
perfect.
benefiting the National MS Society, either Missouri or multiple sclerosis. I'm not sure. It's a
Isn't
raspberry.
Missouri MO.
Oh
MS is
yeah, MS is Mississippi.
Bitch.
From our hand to yours, it's a raspberry and lemon peel flavor. It does say Bike MS. More than $4.7 million raised and counting.
Raised
14
in
IBUs.
Mississippi.
And 4.4% alcohol. Brewed on the banks of the mighty St. Vrain.
It is Mississippi.
You know that for a fact?
Yeah, St.
No,
Vrain.
it's more. Enjoy this tart ale brewed to raise the awareness for multiple sclerosis.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
You're talking about Mississippi.
Yeah, as a joke. Of course it's not made for Mississippi. It's not a fundraiser for a state.
Could be.
No,
That's
it could not
taxes.
be. That's taxes. That's tourism. That's state parks. It's not a beer.
Good marketing is what it is.
It's
Have
great
you tried it yet?
Yeah, I tried it like
He's
4
their head of
times already.
marketing.
Me?
It's tasty. It's an easy drink.
Yeah, it's not as sour as the other one from
No,
work,
from BAM.
but yeah. Which they're not bringing back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm pissed.
Lucas, what you drinking?
I got a cold brew coffee
Oh, excellent.
that I made.
How many IBUs?
4.
It's pretty
They're
good.
really low, yeah.
Yeah, not a bitter
So
coffee.
it's good for coffee. Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Not bitter at all. Well, getting into it today, our director is
4.
Jon Favreau. Director and writer, actually.
And producer.
As far as directing, he's done a film called Made. He directed Elf.
Oh,
He did.
He did. He directed Zathura.
nice. Good movie.
Marina
Never
loves
heard
it
of
just for Dax Shepard and Josh Hutcherson. You haven't heard of Zathura?
It's fine. It's just Jumanji.
It's
Yeah.
it's Space Jumanji.
It's Jumanji if Jumanji was like a 6.
I'll pass.
What do you have? What do you give Jumanji?
It's a 7.
What do you give the new one with The Rock and Kevin Hart?
A 3.
Okay.
I haven't
He's,
seen it, but
he also
I would
did
guess.
Iron Man 1 and 2, which is at
Part
the
of the-
very beginning of MCU.
Responsible for all this mess. I think part of Chef is to atone of those sins that he brought upon us all.
Potentially. He did Cowboys and Aliens.
Never mind. Yeah.
He did the live action Jungle Book, the live action Lion King. And then as far as TV goes, he's written 1 episode of The Office, 1 episode of The Orville, the Seth MacFarlane space one. Anyone know? 1 episode of The Mandalorian.
It's called Orville.
Yeah, The Orville.
It sounds familiar.
1 episode of The Mandalorian, 1 episode of Young Sheldon, and 22 episodes of The Chef Show.
The Chef Show.
Yeah.
I don't know. Seemed it's a little problematic filmography for me.
But other people probably love him for all the things that he's done.
Cowboys and Aliens.
No,
included.
except for that one.
No, people love it.
That
Yeah,
movie.
people do like that one actually.
I heard that
Someone
movie
told me that.
sucked.
I don't know, man. Every movie kind of sucks if you think about it, but people like them.
Space Chimps.
No, that's the only movie that passes.
And then as a writer, he did Swingers. He wrote Made.
Swingers is awesome. I love Swingers. That's his best thing.
He did The First $20 Million is Always the Hardest. Really long title of a movie. He did Couples Retreat. Seven episodes of the Book of Boba Fett.
He's buddies with Vince Vaughn. That's his other deal.
Yeah. And 24 episodes of The Mandalorian.
Boo.
Marina likes Couples Retreat a lot.
I think I've seen half of that.
It's kind of funny. The Guitar Hero face-off scene was kind of weird as like a climax of the film.
That's weird.
Yeah.
There was a summer I spent. I watched like half of a ton of movies because they were on FX. But every time a commercial came on, I'd like switch it to SportsCenter or something. So I've seen like half of. What's that?
I never come back.
Yeah, or like, well, I've seen half of it, but not like the first or second half. I've seen half of it cumulatively. So like, I've seen a good portion of all the Final Destinations and part of Wanted. I saw.
Ooh, I like Wanted.
Wanted was pretty good for one of those real cheesy
action movie. They're curving the bullet. I love
Damn.
James McAvoy.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was his first movie.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
He looks pretty generic. I didn't like pick him out of a crowd.
Yeah.
If I saw him in person, I'd walk right by him because I wouldn't realize.
But you would stop to say hi to Lucas. So Lucas is more famous than James McAvoy.
More recognizable, at least.
Wow. Good job, Lucas.
So I'm 6'5", that's why.
That'll do it.
That'll do it.
Taller.
That's the only reason you knew Bill Russell when you saw him at the Seattle Zoo was because he was 6'11".
He was taller than you.
Recognized game.
You saw Bill Russell too?
Wait,
Yeah, he
you've
was in
seen
a
Bill Russell?
Wheelchair.
No, Michael Wheeler saw him at Old Faithful. He saw him at Yellowstone Park.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was at the Seattle Zoo, just looking at orangutans with me.
He's just been a tourist for the last 60 years, or however long he was
died.
alive. Yeah. He died
Lived
doing
a
what he
life.
loved, being at a museum.
He did.
He
And
did.
surrounded by his family.
Yeah.
Um,
Love
Us. The world was his family.
Yeah.
the orangutans.
Oh,
Sounds
God,
specific.
Brandon. Jesus.
Yeah, you can't say that.
What the fuck is wrong with
He's
you?
dead.
He's
took
dead,
enough-
and that's racist. That's
you took enough
horribly.
racist
I wasn't
abuse.
making it
Horribly
racist. I wasn't
racist
making it
already.
racist.
Brandon, you compared one of the most famous black people in America to monkeys. You said they were his family. And you're saying that's not racist.
I didn't mean for it to be racist.
didn't.
Horrible. He did.
He's off the hook.
I'm
his
off the
birthday.
podcast.
Hello, Katie.
Oh, look, it's Katie.
We have a
Hi.
guest.
I'm in Hoagieville.
I accidentally sent Katie the link instead of you, Lucas, and
Oh
so
no.
and now she's here. Katie, what'd you think of Chef?
Chef. I'm not up to date.
Well, refresh.
Update.
What do you what?
Get her.
She's updated. Now, what did you think of Chef?
Amazing, incredible.
Great.
10.
Yeah, on the John Lasagna scale, 0 to 10, what would you give it?
8.
An 8. Okay.
That's pretty good.
Rookie score.
Yeah, there's no decimals. in
Yeah.
there.
What the hell? Well, we're getting into it. Our cast today, big cast.
Okay.
You got Jon Favreau.
Mm-hmm.
You got Sofia Vergara,
Okay.
Robert Downey Jr.,
Mm-hmm.
Scarlett Johansson,
Mm-hmm.
Dustin Hoffman,
Mm-hmm.
John Leguizamo, Zamo.
Give me that. Let me read them.
The
Bobby
namesake of
Ca-
our scale.
I know Bobby Cannavale,
Incredibly
MJ
good looking.
Bobby. Oh, he's so hot.
Which,
You know who
which
he's
one was
married to?
Bobby?
He's the sous chef.
He's Tony. Do you know who he's married to?
Oh, Tony.
Oh, who's he married to?
Me.
Rose Byrne.
Oh, I think I did know
keep
that.
up with celebrities.
I don't know who Rose is. Roseburn?
She was
She's in
the.
Neighbors.
She's in
I
Neighbors.
have
She
seen
was
Neighbors.
the antagonist in Bridesmaids.
Oh, she's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Bridesmaids.
This movie's also got Oliver Platt, Amy Sedaris, and MJ Anthony. MJ spelled EMJAY.
That's so fucked.
MJ. You got to make it phonetic.
Horrible.
And so a big cast.
Huge.
It's little bits for all of them, though.
Little bits.
Little
All right,
bits.
guys. Well, I think I'm gonna step out because I'm eating lunch.
Bye, Katie.
But it
Later.
was good to see you.
I love that she's on here and nobody on the podcast is going to hear anything she says because she doesn't have a mic.
Just trust us.
Yeah, just trust us. She was here. Or tune into the
Okay.
YouTube.
All
Her
right.
face will be viral.
Bye.
Viral. Okay. Bye, guys. Bye, Seth. Bye, Lucas.
Viral.
Bye.
Viral. Shibuya.
And that was Katie. Just accidentally sent her that link. And now that she came on.
Guest appearance.
Yeah. Unprompted. So yeah, little bits for a lot of
Unfettered.
actors and a plot for you today. You've got a head chef quits his restaurant job and buys a food truck in an effort to reclaim his creative promise while piecing back together his estranged family.
Hmm.
Mi familia.
Piecing.
I mean, the thing about this whole movie that even you figure out pretty early on is that he's trying to do it like his own career. That's what the allegory is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's been a big giant director working for other people forever, and then he's like, I got to do my own thing. That's where I'm happy. Is making my little movies.
So which ones were his own little movies? Like this one?
Mm-hmm.
This is his food truck. Which,
Yeah, this movie.
Yeah, which I don't know. He kind of, I think, hypocrites himself because doesn't he do fucking giant movies later after this?
Yeah.
So he's like, actually, I'm gonna go back to the corporate. I like money.
But maybe
That's
that's part
money.
of
Yeah,
jumping
stick
a-
to the menu.
jumping ahead, maybe that's kind of plays off the ending where he gets back into a deal with a full-time restaurant, not his food truck again. I mean,
Yeah, kind of.
supposedly he's going to have more creative justices in this new restaurant. But
Yeah, I guess it depends on
What
how you
was his most
interpret it.
recent movie?
Cowboys and Aliens 2.
the live-action Lion King.
Exactly my point. One of the
Yeah.
most reviled things of the last 5 years, I think.
Everybody hated it, and it had like the greatest people in it.
Oh, I liked it.
Donald Glover was in it.
I liked it a lot.
It had good music, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it still.
What do you think, Junjo?
I just heard. But
Look
why
how
is he?
blurry he is.
How did you do that to him?
He doesn't want to be on the video.
Tune into the YouTube at 2740
No, he
to
can't
see
be
how
seen.
crisp Lucas is and just
What
how
setting did you
blurry
put on him?
Jinjo is. He put on the no cat setting.
It's like specifically cut off around every
Oh!
piece of hair on Jinjo. It's one of those like when
AI,
somebody's.
AI.
It's like when somebody's being interviewed and they're giving a confession, but their face is blurred and they got the voice modifier on it, but it's just their face and it's blurry. Usually they use it for comedic effect in movies where you can clearly tell.
Well, it
who
was
it is.
super funny there
My name's
'cause
Zark Muckerberg.
because I could tell that was Jinjo and not Alex.
Mhm.
So
But you couldn't tell what voice it was, so it
No.
could have been any cat.
yeah, it
Could have been a
spoken
street
yet.
cat.
Street cat.
And then I've got some history for you guys. Chef is a 2014 American road comedy drama film.
I've never seen Jinjo's eyes.
They're always closed. They're still closed.
He won't do it.
It's a 2014 American road comedy drama film. Favreau wrote the script after directing several big budget films, wanting to go back to the basics and create a film about cooking. He says he was inspired by films such as The Van, Jiro Dreams of
Ishtar.
Sushi, Eat, Drink, Man, Woman, and Big Night to create a small-scale food-centric film. Food truck owner and chef Roy Choi served as a producer and oversaw the menus and food prepared for the film.
Is that the guy we saw in the end credits?
Yeah. Principal photography took place in July of 2013 in LA, Miami, Austin, and New Orleans. Before this film was produced, there was another film written by Stephen Knight with a similar plot and also titled Chef being developed by Sony Pictures since 2007. When production of this movie started, Sony served Jon Favreau's production with a cease and desist over the title Chef, and Sony cleared the titles Chef and The Chef with the MPAA and requested Aldamiza which controlled Favreau's film, to change the title of their film on threat of legal action. Favreau's film ended up winning that and being titled Chef and was released in 2014, while Sony's Chef changed its title to Adam Jones in 2014.
Bad title.
And was retitled and released as Burnt in 2015
Burnt.
by the Weinstein Company in October of 2015.
I think Burnt was a disaster.
I heard. I mean, it was in production since 2007. That's 8 years.
Yeah, Bradley Cooper's in it. Ouch.
Yep. That one took 8 years. This one took 1 year.
Brandon, my feet are cold.
Okay. Louis there. Put him underneath him.
No, he's scared.
I know he's scared and he likes to...
Ginger.
He'll take your warmth. It's not a bad trade. But with that, it's budget time.
Are we about to guess the dime?
Can you guess the quarter?
There we go.
Seth, how about you kick it off?
This movie cost... Thank you. I wasn't even meaning to look at that. $12.5 million.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Probably more. It's probably like 23.
That's interesting. He is the star. I doubt he paid himself for that. It's mostly... Is it mostly self-produced? I don't know. I'm gonna dip under you. I'm gonna go $11 million. It's RDJ.
Yeah, that's RDJ, Sophia, and
But he's his buddy. I
Scarlett
think I'm
Johansson.
gonna say $11 million.
I'm wondering,
Little bitty movie.
if he self-produces, like any money he puts in, is that gonna be part of the budget? Like if he put $1 million into the project,
I think
does
so,
that
yeah.
count?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are
Or
you-
just total money?
Are you sticking with 12.4?
Yeah, I'll stick with it. Yeah.
You sticking with 11?
Yeah.
One of you guys is right.
Oh shit.
Double
That's got to be
points.
Lucas.
It's
There's no way it's
Lucas.
12.5.
It's $11 million.
Damn it. Dude.
Ooh.
Which is tough because of the big cast. You're like, how much are you paying these guys? But small roles for RDJ, Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah. And it's not like the sets were super expensive, it looked like. They were just, in a truck for
Yeah.
a lot of it. You could get into a kitchen pretty easily. It's not like super difficult to set all that stuff up.
Yeah.
And if he is friends with everybody, you can get all these people on him, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll do it."
Yeah, he directed
We'll shoot
Iron
for the
Man, so he's
weekend.
got RDJ already.
Yeah, and Dustin
Scar-
Hoffman's gone senile, so he's just like, "I'll be in anything."
He is.
ScarJo's Black Widow, so he's worked with
Yeah.
that in the Marvel stuff.
With that, what the fuck?
I didn't mean it like that. Like
Yeah,
that.
with that
ass. Yeah.
Okay, 11 million.
Little
What do you think
skis.
this movie made opening weekend, Lucas?
What is this glare, man?
I don't know.
I think this was like a late bloomer hit. I'm gonna say
Off the whiteboard.
6 or $7 million. I'll say $7 million on that weekend.
Okay. Seth?
Little bitty
Opening
chef.
weekend? 2.5. I didn't even hear of it.
One of you guys is so close. It's Seth.
Oh shit! Is it 3?
And no, it's further off than 3. It's $204,000 and $204,961.
Damn.
Not a
I got
lot.
an exact number on that, huh?
Yeah. When it's low enough, I usually put like to the dollar value.
That's good.
Seth, what do you think this made in US and Canada total?
5 million?
Okay.
That's such a low number for a modern movie on opening weekend.
Movie.
Haven't done that in a while.
You're gonna stick with 5?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Kind of
15.
crazy. 6. Sorry.
6 million and
Yeah.
15.
I just like the number better.
The winner is Lucas. It's 31.4 million.
Okay. Good comeback. Day of modern marketing.
Ostensibly.
They put it on Twitter.
They
The whole
put it on
movie.
the Food Network.
They put that'd be
That could work.
it's not okay.
And last but not least, Lucas, worldwide.
40.
Mr. Worldwide. 41.
You ass. Well, our winner today is Lucas.
Damn.
No, I'm kidding. It's Seth.
Damn.
It's 48.4. China loved it.
What a cruel joke.
I don't think China was a big portion of that.
No, it was probably all Zimbabwe, maybe.
Probably.
Probably
France.
Like,
Who
let's
else
see
has
what food looks
swamps?
like.
Yeah. We haven't met it before.
So this is what they're raving about in America.
What's that comedian? There's a
Bill Burr.
he's got no, I don't think so. It's like an older dude, like 70s, 80s maybe. Where he's
Elaine
ranting
May.
about it was Elaine May. She was ranting about like
You said older dude, and he was like Elaine May.
we keep delivering all this food to Africa. Why don't they just move to where the food is? Why are we shipping it all out? But I forget the comic's name. Yeah.
George Carlin.
No, but a similar type to that guy. Like a
Okay.
Harvey Dangerfield almost.
So 11.
Harvey? Is that right?
Rodney.
Rodney.
Thank you.
Harvey Keitel.
Yeah, you were like, yeah, that sounds right.
So $11 million budget ended up making 48.4. That's a good turnaround for a
turned it around.
self-produced small film.
Turned around.
Got himself a nice Cubano.
Favreau.
Bought himself a what? I'm sorry.
A sandwich.
And now we've
He
got.
said dune bug.
No, he said a Cubano.
Yeah, okay.
And now we've got taglines. There's only one, and it's at the very bottom for you.
Mm-hmm. Starting from scratch, never tasted so good. What an ass tagline. That's the worst one I've ever read. I think I say that every week.
I like
That
it.
is bad.
It's so bad.
No, I like it.
It's so bad.
Why is it bad?
Because starting from scratch always tastes better. So when you're like, it never tasted this good, you're making it sound like it didn't taste good sometimes. It's always best.
Or maybe it's always good, but this is the best.
And if I ever turned my life around, I wouldn't say it tastes so good to be in a place where I'm stable.
Just a simple change of making it from scratch instead of starting from scratch to make it cooking related.
That's true.
That's
too.
better, yeah.
Yeah, still bad, but better.
What if in the future, because you said like it would never taste so good, what if like once you die and you become a 4-dimensional being, you know, and you can transcend time and whatnot,
Yeah, just
and life
me,
is
not
just
you guys.
Yeah, and
It's
life's
me.
just a concept.
Mhm.
All the lives that you can transcend through, you just actually eat and you can taste them like it's a bag of chips. And
So-
it's like this is the sour cream and cheddar ruffle with the most orange on it.
So when I become 4th dimensional and I experience people's lives by eating their lives as a
gonna hurt.
concept,
It's your life.
they'll taste like different flavors of chips.
It's your life.
Am I understanding this?
You're digesting it in different segments.
But they taste like different flavors of chips.
No, they're
So
all
I'm
the
still
same.
associating them with
They're all
one.
the same flavor of chip, whatever one you want it to be, but some might taste better.
No.
Ones might be more seasoned.
I'm moving on from this. I'm very confused.
I am not
by what
moving.
you're saying.
It's clear that you're a 4-dimensional being that can transcend time, and time
Other
then
people's
becomes
lives taste like chips.
no,
I get it.
your own life.
Why would I live my own life again? When there's so many, I could be John Favreau and start from scratch, and it would never
Just because
taste
you're
so
4
good.
dimension doesn't
Bang
mean you get
Sofia
to live other
Vergara.
lives.
I could
Scarlett
bang Sofia
Johansson.
Vergara and Scarlett Johansson and John Leguizamo if I so
Not if
fucking
you're living
please.
other people's lives. You have to do that yourself.
Fine. I gotta get a head start on this, so I'm actually gonna dip out right now. You guys enjoy the rest of the episode. I gotta go make some calls.
He makes some changes in the time continuum, and he's actually an Ishtar now and not Dustin Hoffman.
Who would I
Lucky.
fucking Ishtar? That would be pretty fun.
Isabella Johnny.
And then you bang Isabella Johnny.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay. So I'm glad we got the taglines of our own.
Cooking up a hit movie.
That's good.
It's not.
I was gonna say, hey, I'm chef in here.
It's better than mine still.
An attempt at the modern day Tempest.
I like the double temp in a temple.
A tempest.
A Tempest.
Tempestuous.
Yeah.
Would you like Plantanos with that?
That's pretty good.
Or what was the original tagline?
Starting from scratch never tasted so
If you
good.
just do it how Sofia Vergara says it, it'd be
Do it.
die from scratch. Never
She's not a cholo. Why are you making her like
Never
that?
tastes so
Sounds-
good.
She's.
Ese, I'm
we can get
Sofia
into it, but-
Vergara.
What? Yeah.
Never
One of
I
the,
am Mooney. Starting from scratch never tastes so good.
I got some problems with her performance.
Yeah. Hi, Marina.
Apparently
Did
you
you hear
have
all those
some-
accents?
Apparently you have a
Pretty good.
tough
huh?
time replicating her
I'm gonna
accent
tell
too.
Armando to listen to this one.
I mean,
Lou here.
she has a wild
Yeah.
accent.
Yeah,
It's the equivalent of asking a fucking a horrendous singer to sing a song in the movies, giving her any lines.
Yeah. Well, she's got like whatever a Valley Girl Spanish accent sounds like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Colombian bits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. It's just
Colombian
I
dicks.
kind- I
starting
don't
from
really
scratch
like her as
never
an
tastes so
actress.
good.
It's just nails on the chalkboard.
Interesting. I've never hated her voice so much. I don't think she's the best actress, but I'm perfectly
Have you
fine
seen
with
her
her
in
being in
Have you
any
seen her in
movie.
Modern Family?
Yep, one of my problems with that show as well.
It's like
just not
that show's
great.
amazing.
Except
What? Modern Family?
Is amazing show.
Let's-
It's pretty
let's
good
pump
for
the
a
brakes
sitcom.
A little bit that, yeah.
it's good for a sitcom. That's the same reason I say New Girl's good. Like for sitcoms, it's pretty good.
It's better than New Girl.
Modern Family was like the most successful sitcom with awards in the last
I mean,
15 years.
You know how Brandon
Big Bang
gets with his
Theory won a lot of them.
bootlicking the academies.
Big
Big Bang Theory
won a lot
didn't
of
win,
them.
just Jim Parsons did.
Yeah, and he's
And
Because
he
of
act-
Big Bang Theory.
And he acts great in that as Sheldon.
He does.
I mean, it's not an enjoyable performance.
No, but
And I
He's
usually
doing
put
it
down
well.
on people for enjoying it.
yeah, you would hate my family. Mostly my stepmom.
Mostly Seth.
Ex-stepmom, sorry.
Some things I
Anyway.
like about Modern Family. I think a lot of Modern Families like recognition comes from being like, we're gonna show gay people on TV, which is good and all.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's fucking Succession or Ted Lasso or The Office or anything like that.
I'm not watching Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso's very good.
I refuse, dude. It's like a pandemic. It's a new wave.
Hmm.
There'll be people who have seen Ted Lasso are gonna like have their brains exploded by some secret note in the
By
final
kindness.
episode of the final season. Not by kindness.
Maybe you should have started it back when it actually started.
Yeah, back when it was still underground.
Yeah, maybe you should just subscribe to Apple TV Plus and every other subscription.
I don't watch popular things. I refuse. I'm too cool.
Yeah, that's right. You're an anime guy.
What are we talking about?
Taglines.
Um,
So let's do our
That's
facts
a-
now.
a diced tomato
I
for
derailed us with my
dicey
Sofia Vergara
situation.
hatred. Nice.
Cat's
Sufi.
facts. Chef's
Sufi.
facts.
Sufi for the sous chef.
Cat's facts.
Chef
facts.
Starting from scratch facts.
Ooh.
Starting from facts.
Facts start. Like fresh start.
Facts feed.
I spent my life savings on a facts truck.
Ooh.
Fax truck's not bad, actually.
Yeah, but you have to
Facts
do the whole
seared
thing. Non-negotiable. Ooh. that's good.
Faxiers, it's just
That
beignets.
sounds good. But they're
Yays.
but they're words that we
Faxiers.
deep fried and covered in powdered sugar.
And then you can eat them
truth.
like a life,
yeah,
like a
and
bag
Truth.
of
We
chips.
cover them in powdered sugar and Truth, the app.
So we've got a lot of good options here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're cooking
Right.
with fire.
We're cooking with facts.
That's not bad. It's a lot of food puns.
I wonder why.
Me too.
It's almost like we watched a food-based film.
No, I mean like I can't believe how many are just readily available to
Oh,
use.
yeah.
Ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley facts.
That's good. I like that.
There was a Marvin Gaye song in there.
Facts over troubled water.
Yeah, sexual facting.
Ooh. We can do that.
That song's just about being horny. All the lyrics I was reading on the screen.
Good
It's
deal.
like,
This
girl-
movie was about being horny.
This whole movie was.
So what is our facts name?
Trisha.
That's good. Yeah. just
Trisha
the
facts.
name.
It's just Trisha facts.
Just Trisha.
No. Just
Just
a-
just,
I don't want Trisha though. She's an old coworker of mine. Let's do a different name. Like
Bartholomew.
Bernice.
Ooh, yeah. Or just Bart. Our first Bart.
Bart. All right.
Bartholomew.
Let's get into our Barts.
Is that E.T.?
Our first Bart today is that
Bart me
John Favreau did his own cooking by training with food truck chef Roy Choi. Choi sent Favreau to a week of intensive French culinary schooling where Favreau sharpened his knife skills, learned how to make sauces. Eventually, 5 years after this film was released, Favreau and Choi teamed up again on the Chef Show in 2019, which was the cooking documentary show on Netflix I told you guys about.
That's pretty cool. I guess I never thought of anyone of like a possibility of a double coming in and cooking for him. Should be kind of funny.
That's kind of funny.
I mean, it would probably be easy because you could just do a lot of like hand shots and stuff, but
Get a huskier guy.
right away, Seth noticed the knife skills with that zucchini, like right off the bat. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's pretty
He
good.
can handle a knife.
Yeah. Next, Bart is that promotional events centering on the fictional Cubanos serving El Jefe proved to be so popular that Favreau and Los Angeles-based chef Roy Choi, who consulted on the film, have opened a series of pop-up restaurants and announced that they're thinking about making the track permanent.
There's a pop-up
Interesting.
restaurant just when you serve food for a little bit and you're like, that was fun. I'm out of here.
Pretty much.
That's fucking weird.
LA weird. Food culture down there is crazy.
It is a little bit. I mean, it works. I mean, I feel like the food market in LA is what capitalism was supposed to be, where it's everyone just fucking going ham, trying to do the best thing.
Yeah.
But
Ham.
it made some really good food. Like Brand
food I
knows
ever
how
had was
picky
in
I
LA.
am. What's that?
Best food I ever had was in LA. The Euros
Oh, yeah.
place.
A euro?
Ooh, I
Yeah.
would love to try that. I went to a place called Senor Fish, sold tacos, and like I said, Brand knows how picky I am. I wouldn't eat tomatoes, fish. I'm not a fan of. I got like chicken tacos covered in cilantro and like a pico de gallo. I just ate it straight up.
You should.
Onions, tomatoes,
You
and
should.
all.
You
Best
should
thing,
let. You
best thing in
should.
my life.
You should let me make my halibut tacos for you with onions and tomatoes on it.
I'm not letting you put anything in my mouth ever again.
What was the first thing I put in your mouth?
Friendship.
My tongue.
That's what it was.
That's how our friendship blossomed.
Yeah, he licked me.
Next is that Roy Choi only agreed to train Jon Favreau to cook if Favreau promised to be absolutely authentic in his portrayal of a professional chef. From the way that his character Carl folds the towels at the beginning of the film to the way in which he cleans his station. Choi also put Favreau to work in several of his own kitchens, doing just repetitive, menial tasks, such as like picking parsley. This training was designed to keep Favreau focused on the smallest of details and to serve as a sort of method acting exercise in order to understand the mindset of a professional chef who must persistently be persistently detail focused in a pressurized environment, which requires repetitive tasks.
It's the next Bart. I guess I have nothing to say about that one.
Me neither, yeah. Pretty accurate from my time working in the kitchen. Not enough drug use, I'll say that.
Yeah.
Not
They
enough
did
fury and anger. Not enough, just poor life choices. Even though there were some, there weren't enough.
There needs to be more people just hanging on by a thread in the kitchen.
Yeah.
More
they did
immigrants.
The very beginning, they had a little bit of like, oh, we went out late last night. One guy slept in his car in the parking lot to make sure he wasn't like late for work and didn't miss this big important day. And then they never go back to how fucked up all these chefs are.
Yeah.
Then he can just like go pick up his kid in the middle of the day. They're all just like chit-chatting around.
Yeah, they're all just living normal lives, which I mean they do, but they've been places before. Like my head chef was in jail for years. He like tried to smoke a blunt with Bill Clinton. It was a crazy guy. He's got some crazy stuff.
I like that you guys were like, I guess I have nothing to say about this fact, and then you both went off.
It was too much.
Turned into our own kitchen experience.
Yeah. Well, because it's me. I'm one of those guys now.
You're one of the fucked up ones?
Yeah, I'm not that fucked up.
Okay, next one. According to Jon Favreau, Twitter paid nothing for the product placement or advertising. In the Hollywood Reporter article, Favreau reported that the company requested only that some tweaks be made to the look of the animated logo before signing off on use of its product.
He's an idiot. You should have got that. Zuckerberg
When
would
did
have paid for it.
when was Twitter around though? 09 maybe? Was that when it founded?
Yeah, or
That
07.
sounds about right.
I had
07
Twitter
maybe.
in 09.
Man, you've been on Twitter for 14 years.
Damn, bro. I think I'm close to that too.
Because I tweeted something about my fucking people coming for a class ring was my first tweet.
I've been on for 5 years, 6 years.
Boo. Don't, what the hell?
Don't boo me.
Boo.
Next.
It's his birthday, Seth. Go fuck yourself.
Good.
Yeah,
It's,
fuck you.
It's not his birthday because I always forget it, and I haven't forgotten it yet this year. So
That's true.
I know it's not his
the
birthday
12th.
yet because I don't feel guilty yet.
It is the 12th.
I know it's the 12th. I know what day it is, and every
Beat you
year
to
I'm
it.
like, this is the year I'm gonna say happy birthday.
Yeah, he knew first.
He didn't know first.
He said
I
it
knew
first.
He said it first. He didn't know first.
It was in
But
there.
you never know.
What is Bart 3?
Bart 5 is that.
What?
Bart 3 was the one that you guys didn't have anything to say about. And then
I
went
thought
off
that
on.
was Bart 2.
No, that was 3. Bart 5 is that Oliver Platt's brother who played
Who's
what?
Oliver Platt?
Ramsey Michelle, the food critic.
We're 5 Barts in, and I thought we were 2. I'm just not.
His
in tune.
Oliver Platt's brother is a prominent food critic in New York City
I don't know who
metropolitan
Oliver
area.
Platt is.
I just said it.
You did just say it.
I was busy being mad. I couldn't hear what he was saying. I was busy being disruptive.
Oliver Platt's brother is a prominent food critic in the New York City metropolitan area and has invited Oliver on some of his restaurant visits.
That's interesting.
Who is Oliver Platt
Seth was
now?
like, get to the next Bart. Derailing. Who's this? What is this? Where are we at? I thought we were on the other one. Come on, Brandon.
I'm trying to keep a tight ship here. You're the one
We are.
derailing.
Well, we all derail at certain times.
He's trying.
It's not just because Seth's on that they're longer. It's because Seth's long. We all have an extra share. I guess it kind of is. But it's no more than the other two of us. I'm saying me and Brandon contribute our fair share. Seth does when he's
I think what I do on here is I get to the top of a hill. It's been snowing, and I start the snowball, and I aim at you guys, and then you come along with me. So we're all rolling down this
we
hill.
did the room, and it was an hour and 57. We're like, oh shit, we're done.
Yeah.
Although Red Notice was 2 hours and 12 minutes. So
he fucking got me.
Red Notice sucks.
Lucas roasted my ass.
I know he did.
Sorry.
All right.
It's
Bart
so
number
funny.
6.
Thank you for that.
The barbecue place in the movie is called Franklin's Barbecue, and it's in Austin, Texas, which it had the sold out sign on the door.
Mhm.
It regularly sells out before noon and has long lines of customers waiting to get in from early in the morning.
Make more food, you idiots.
Is there a place in town like that, Brandon?
Here in Billings?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Have you been to I feel like you've told me about a restaurant like this where you have to go in early. Or maybe it was Armando because he lives in Austin now.
Well, there's one in Missoula called the Notorious PIG that cooks all their food ahead of time.
That was what it was.
And so when they run out of something, they run out. So Lucas has to go for lunch because by dinner time, the burnt ends are gone.
Okay. That was
Even by lunch oftentimes.
That was one you were telling me about. I'll have to see if Armando's been to that place yet.
Yeah. Next one. Ramsey Michelle is likely named for 2 world-famous chefs, Gordon Ramsay and Michel Roux Jr. Both chefs have owned restaurants that have earned 3 Michelin stars. And that's Oliver Platt. It's Ramsey Michelle.
Oliver Platt is Ramsey Michelle.
Yeah.
Michelin stars.
Nice. Penultimate Bart is that many critics have viewed this film as an allegory to Jon Favreau's career as a director.
What?
Penultimate Bart?
Yeah, it's still getting me. I didn't hear anything you said. You don't have to repeat it. We can just move on.
By going back to his independent film roots, allowing his freedom to make his own decisions after his time working under the close and demanding eye of the Marvel Studios, and after the comic book film adaptation Cowboys and Aliens, which was a slight box office failure. However, Favreau was denied this comparison.
How could the Cowboys ever win?
Against Aliens?
They did?
I think
They did!
They probably did. Why else did you make it? Unless you're a big Alien fan.
Yeah.
They fell in love.
But you pretty much nailed the interpretation, though.
Except he denies that. As the interpretation.
Well,
I
he's a
believe
fucking jackass. If that's true.
that's true. It's true.
And my last one is nominations for you guys. Apparently the hyperlink didn't stay, so give me a second while I pull up Chef.
Log into IMDb Plus with my rich
It's
bank
IMDb
account.
Pro. Excuse me.
Same thing, I think.
No.
It's very similar, I think.
Awards, 2 wins, 4 nominations. At the AARP Movies for Grown-Ups Awards,
These guys.
it was the winner for Best Comedy.
For the
At
old people awards.
Yep. At the Casting Society of America.
Ooh, we do
love
like these guys.
Yeah, we love these guys. It was nominated for the Archios Award, which is the Outstanding Achievement in Casting for a studio or independent
cast.
feature.
Full cast. Big one.
It was nominated at the Critics' Choice Awards for Best Actor in a Comedy Film for Jon Favreau.
I can see that. You did a decent job.
The Guild of Music Supervisors Awards, it was nominated for Best Music Supervision for a film budgeted under $25 million. Seth was vibing the whole time to every song.
I did vibe a lot.
Good vibes.
You Shazammed many songs in this.
I think 2, which is more than any other movie.
Yeah.
I don't even think I've done it once. Well, they took a...
Wu-Tang.
Yeah, it was Cream.
Yeah.
But I looked up the song because I was like, oh, what is... I didn't realize it was a sample of something. So I looked it up, and it was a whole album, songs inspired by the Wu-Tang Clan. So it's a guy that took the beat and turned it into a full song.
In like Cuban style?
It was just like I guess Cuban style. I don't know.
I think it was just the beat as he was walking into RDJ's office.
Cash rules everything around me. Get the money.
Last 2, the Location Managers Guild International Awards, the Lumgies. It was nominated for Outstanding Locations in a Contemporary Film. And it was the winner at the Tribeca Film Festival for the Audience Award Narrative for Jon Favreau. So.
Is that like his personal narrative?
I don't know.
Those weirdos, Tribeca.
I don't know what that award really was, but that is the end of our Barts, so we can get into the movie.
I don't even know what Tribeca is.
It's a film festival, I think in Utah, right? Is that where Tribeca is? Colorado, maybe? Where's Tribeca?
I think it's in Israel.
Oh, it's in New York. I'm just.
I was gonna say New York.
The Tri.
I'm thinking of Sundance, probably.
Is the Mecca? Where is that?
That's Macau.
India? No, it's the big giant worship building.
Oh,
it's like a cube.
Yeah, that's in
Mecca.
Where all three big religions come together and pray at the same cube.
The Mecca.
The Tri-Mecca.
And that's where Nicole Kidman hides.
Anya Odell Becca?
I don't know that one. That is where she hides. She's the prophet, false or otherwise.
The dark energy.
I thought she was.
We're not allowed to draw her.
I thought she was hiding, but it was like underneath the food truck crossing the border, like she was an illegal immigrant.
Like she's Creech.
Yeah. Again.
We've already made her Creech.
No, yeah, let's make
She's
her
running the food truck.
A false deity. That makes sense.
She's running the food truck, but she's Australian, so she's serving up Lyle Crocodile.
She forgot to open the truck for the day.
This week's Nicole Kidman, she's just in a truck eating a sandwich. It's very tame.
Yeah. But then
they all pray to her.
A meteor. A small one. Strikes through the driver's side, gets her in the calf. Her pet calf.
Her pet calf dies.
Yeah, and she's devastated. She has a funeral, and nobody shows up to her calf's funeral. So she's devastated a second time.
She is the deity at the Mecca, so of course she's sad.
And then
cows are holy creatures,
but her neck is too strong.
Her neck is so fucking strong.
And she vows vengeance on the asteroids that did it.
Yeah.
So she gets a bunch of cowboys together.
No, she just
to fight the aliens that threw the meteors.
Okay.
And this is where Jon Favreau got his idea to direct cowboys versus aliens.
Okay, I think we can get into
Let's get into the Barts.
Forks, knives, spoons, plates,
Barts,
napkins.
This movie has the quickest title card drop of all time.
I didn't write that.
You turn it on, it's one production company, and then it's just chef, and then like that was it. We're like, okay,
He's
we're in the
chefing.
movie,
Hey,
and you
He's
get that title card
Chef's chefing right away.
with "Father John Is Gone" song playing. Lots of just chopping food scenes, butchering a pig scenes,
He's tired.
making sauces scenes.
he's tired.
The pig was tired.
Yeah, he's
No,
sleepy.
Don't call him that. He's chef.
No,
Chef's
oh,
tired.
I get you.
That's funny. Don't call the pig sleepy. No, don't call the chef pig.
I get it now.
That's funny.
But the pig was super sleepy. The eternal sleep.
Didn't even wake
His
up.
crew's there. Bobby Cannavale's really hot. John Leguizamo is not, but a welcome
He's-
face around these parts.
I think he's hot.
I kind of liked it. Like I was like, we've been having like one John Leguizamo film each season. This should kind of be a trend where we've got to make our ode to the lasagna, put another layer
A
down.
sacrifice.
Make another sacrifice to the lasagna scale.
And so I guess this is our installment right off the bat. Although Tu Wong Fu was right away too. So
We should make a lasagna scale and stand on it, and it tells us how hot we are from 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all cheesy.
It's all.
you
covered
just stand
in
on
grease.
cheese and it pops out a number.
Yeah, I think it's a good invention.
That's the worst invention.
Might not be correct. Just a number. But yeah,
Mhm.
he's also got a kid. It's like the eve of this big important critic coming in to review, and he's like, I gotta go pick up my kid,
Percy. He leaves.
Jackson.
The lightning thief.
He leaves. Big day. Huge food critic coming. So he picks up his son like an hour late. They're not going to go to the movie like they planned, but instead they go to like the farmer's market. And his son Percy did not want to wait for him at the restaurant. He wants to join his dad at the farmer's market, just to kind of spend time with him because he was already late. Let's spend time with dad, and buying a bunch of great produce. And he's like, Dad, I want kettle corn. He's like, you're not getting fucking kettle corn. Great cut to them eating kettle corn at the farmer's market.
Classic.
And they eat giant sausages and bread,
Andouille. Just French, right?
Yeah,
spicy sausage.
I love andouille sausage. But Carl and Percy talking about trying to go to New Orleans to try some beignets down there. Maybe next month when the reviewer is gone and he's at school. They're going to plan a trip together. Father-son bonding time. And why are you slapping my knee?
Mm-mm.
What?
Nothing. Go on.
Why'd you slap my knee?
It was just an impulse.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
But Carl's back at the restaurant and everyone is getting things going when the owner, I never picked Vera, was that his name? Dustin Hoffman's character?
Riva, I think.
Riva.
R-I-V-A.
Yeah.
Riva Las Vegas.
Ooh.
Was his last name?
He comes in and back to the kitchen and him and Carl begin to argue about the menu and needing space. And it kind of seems to be about sticking to what people know or being artistic with the menu for the critic coming in. Kind of also like taking risks versus just the business side of the restaurant, making money. We're going to have people here because the critic's here. So let's make what people enjoy.
Dustin Hoffman doesn't give a fuck about the critic, actually.
And I mean, he is.
He doesn't.
He doesn't. He really wants to make money and please the customers, but you also should like
As
know
an
that
owner.
he the whole time he's like, yes, this is the most important critic in the whole city of LA.
Yeah.
Who cares? I was like, oh God, like one bad review can put your restaurant out.
Yeah. Well, when it's like we're
He's more
super
focused
busy,
on
we're
the
having
commercial viability.
Yeah, which is fair, but also you have to understand, like, if a really well-respected critic gives you a really good review, it's going to drive in a bunch of different kinds of people. And he's like, no, we have to serve everyone
It's the people's
equally.
critic.
Exactly. Finally.
Now we're getting somewhere. Well, they get into this big fight, and it seems like the owner got into Carl's head because as they have their little staff meeting, he reads out the menu for the night. Some really great sounding things. You got the caviar egg, you got the French onion soup, you got the lobster risotto, which
That does sound good.
I heard a audible moan from the stuff. He went, Oh.
Good.
Yeah, I don't even like lobster.
There was the fillet, there was the chocolate lava cake, all the above, and but the whole staff seems displeased with their menu for the night. That's Lucas's favorite food.
Risotto?
Yeah, risotto is one of them. Yeah, for sure.
Is it a pasta or like a grain?
It's a
like
it's a rice
pasta.
dish. It's a very creamy, frothy rice dish.
Reaches a creamy consistency. I see.
I noticed.
Okay. I've had it
everyone-
before. I just didn't know.
I mean, it's like a Hollywood thing. It really stands out in this movie that everyone is too good looking to do these movies, to do these roles, because it's like fucking Scarlett Johansson and
As a
Sofia
waitress?
Vergara. Yeah, I mean,
Ugh.
I'm happy that they're in here to look at, but it's like a reminder. Like none of my waitresses ever looked like Scarlett Johansson. They looked like fucking Creech.
Well, there were.
It's true though.
None of my line cooks ever looked like Bobby Cannavale.
I don't think
No,
that
they look more like
Bobby Moynihan.
No, what's the guy's name? I have no frame of reference.
Space Chimps.
It's like Luis something Gomez.
Selena Gomez?
No.
I think
He's
Luis
in
Gomez. Yeah.
Is it?
No.
He's in Waiting with
He's in Boogie
like
Nights.
Justin Long and Ryan Reynolds and Dane Cook. Maybe I should do that one for the birthday episode. What's his fucking name? Whatever. I'll look it up.
Look it up.
He's in Community. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. But I
I
don't
haven't
think,
seen Community. It's
But I know-
Guzman. Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Thank you.
but I don't think ScarJo was.
That's what all the line cooks look like.
I don't think ScarJo was the waitress because there were a bunch of other servers in there that all like I think she was the head of the front staff or something. Because they're always like talk to Molly about wine pairings. She'll help out with the waiters and everything up front. But I get what you're saying.
I think in a fine dining restaurant, they're simultaneous roles, like head waitress, head of the waitressing as well. She's like the superstar one.
What is the title of the person that just kind of like oversees the front and the back? And there's like a specific
general manager.
No,
like the front and the back.
Well, he helps with like delivering plates from time to time if things are falling behind. He is also seating things and making sure like high-end customers or frequent customers come and visit.
The only word in my head is maitre d', and
that's it.
No idea what that means.
That is it.
It's like a host.
I think maitre d' does mean like host or expo is what we say here in the States.
Expo's like
they dress the food, make sure it looks nice before it goes out. It's probably different every restaurant because the expo at the one I work at now is just the one that runs the food.
Yeah, they like, and then a lot of like classic French restaurants, the expo is actually what the chef does. Like the head chef runs that position. Yeah,
he doesn't cook so much. He makes sure his like
exactly
staff is doing the right thing.
Finishing touches,
and he'll like call out orders and be like the director.
Yeah, everything's got
in line with this.
Some kind of garnish on it, and
and usually the sous chef will be either doing the grill,
most of the
like
cooking,
doing what you think the chef would be.
Okay, well, it seemed like I said, it seems like he got in his head because the whole staff was displeased with their menu for the night.
The sous chef does taxes,
and now you get
oh.
And now you get a good cut of this street performer just killing it with this little skeleton doll.
Yeah,
I like that. I wish there was more of this stuff.
Mr. Bone Tangles.
And it was nice because I can't remember what song the skeleton was singing, but it was kind of a good metaphor for Carl zoning out in the middle of the street as you can kind of see the focus shift from both of them. But just a little scene there. And now the whole staff is doing shots at a bar.
Well, and I looked up Mr. Bojangles during that too.
Okay.
And it was a word they used for like a 1960s soul musician from New Orleans, which they've just been talking about in the previous scene. So, good amount of...
He looks voodoo-y.
Yeah.
He does.
I think it was a pretty good tie-in from the conversation.
That might have been
even
my
if
favorite
subconsciously.
scene of the whole movie.
It was a good scene.
The dancing skeleton.
Yeah.
And then thrusting on the stage when he gets on the ground.
Well, the whole staff is doing shots at the bar when the review's about to come up. And it starts great while Carl's reading out of his phone with what a revelation Chef Carl Casper is. But then it turns bad as the critic starts to roast him for being unoriginal and pandering to a generic audience without branching out and being edgy anymore like he used to when critic Ramsey Michelle used to review his food back in Miami.
I
Yeah.
don't know, man. Lobster risotto and eggs still in the shell when it comes to your plate is pretty edgy.
But if you've been doing it for 5 years, like Dustin Hoffman was saying,
That's fair.
he's got.
You've been cooking the same menu for 10 years. Stick to the menu.
That's a good Warren Beatty, but we're doing Dustin Hoffman. Yeah.
Yeah, he's.
Senor Santa.
I think
There it is.
He's gotten complacent, and he's gotten with his life, and that's part of it. Like later on, spoiler alert, when he gets like let go, he's like, Tony's been cooking half this shit anyways. Like I think he's let his guard slip, and that's part of why he gets so angry at the critic and at his owner and everything, because he knows deep down that it's true. He has lost his step. He's not being fucked over for no reason. But true artist would have fought back and cooked the shit he wants to cook for the critic.
Because he's got the talent.
It's true.
He's got
For
the
sure.
ideas, but it is true, Dan.
Because Dustin Hoffman was essentially like, you do whatever you want. Really, I think you should do the hits. And then he's like, fuck it, I'll just do it. I'll be lazy.
So Carl has a heart-to-heart with Molly, who is Scarlett Johansson. They're definitely banging, and they're like, they start to almost
for the food.
She cooks for him in lingerie.
He cooks
for her in lingerie.
Yeah, they were about to kiss.
He's
in
lingerie. She's laying on the bed fully clothed.
He's cooking with just an apron on,
sweater, hat. Not even her hair.
He's got
is
just
showing.
an apron on.
Yeah.
She's in a tuxedo on the bed.
She's got a mask.
She's wearing his clothes. Yeah,
but
a gas mask.
They're about
so
to
she doesn't have
kiss.
To smell the John Favreau stink.
They're about
failures.
to kiss.
Sorry.
And they're like, we shouldn't do this anymore. So he cooks her something. And I was like, oh, let me just do the most romantic thing possible for you as you lay in lingerie on your bed. Now you can talk about it.
Is that more?
She's
Yeah,
so
that's
horny.
romantic. Now I can talk about it?
Yeah.
I got
You just
through
kept,
it already.
I know you did. But she was he cooks her this pasta dish. And next day, Carl's picking up his son from his ex-wife's house. This is Inez. This is Sofia Vergara.
So hot.
And they have a genuine talk about Percy being upset and a genuine talk about the review as it comes up. They seem quite neutral for divorcees.
Yeah. I think one of the criticisms I've seen of this movie is that, like, your schlub John Favreau, why did you, like, cast yourself in this movie with beautiful women where you get with all these beautiful women? Which I kind of disagree with, because I can buy the fact that because he's, like, an amazing cook that these women will fall in love with him and everything. I think that's the cover. So I don't buy the criticism that he's kind of a perv.
There are other ways to fall in love rather than just by looks.
I think like that scene is evidence of that, of Scarlett being like, oh my fucking god.
That's what Seth immediately was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, I've been thinking about Lost in Translation all day just because of it too. So mad about that movie.
Then
seen that.
Oh my god, she's so hot, and her boyfriend's Giovanni Ribisi, and he's just like
she is 17 in that.
I was hot at 17, minus the acne and the gangly.
He was.
He was past tense. We're branching out this season, guys.
But so after they have this heart-to-heart, Carl decides to make it up to Percy with a day of fun, and this day of fun is a total 6 seconds of clips of them on a roller coaster with John Favreau on his phone, and them at the movies, just blank-faced movies, when he drops Percy back off at home. But all Percy wants to do is come and watch his dad cook in the restaurant.
Let him cook. It had to be said at least once, right?
So he's back in the restaurant himself, and he's kind of, after this terrible review, he's prepping food that he thinks he should have been making. And it's just food porn shot after food porn as he's making this brand new menu. There was like some pork cheek going on there. There was
pork cheek's good. Yeah, pork cheek before.
Mm-hmm.
Pork cheek's good.
There's one where he cut like a tiny little chicken in half and placed it in some sauce.
That was cute. He was doing something with lobster again. Or maybe it wasn't lobster. Maybe it was prawns. So they were just.
Oh, it was prawns.
Yeah. He was stuffing them with like chimichurri,
a nice
some kind of herb blend. Amuse-bouche is like an appetizer. I did look it up earlier. It's a little morsel of food served as an appetizer. So it could have been.
But yeah, so he's starting to make this up, and his sous chef Tony comes in, as well as Martin, who's always been this like handyman in the another chef in the restaurant. I was always his handyman, and they come in.
It's like right hand man. I don't know if he's like his handyman.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Thanks, Lucas. I didn't catch that.
But
He's
He
pretty
He
needs-
kind
handy,
of
but
fixes everything.
he kind of does.
Yeah.
He's
But
loyal.
he needs all the reassurance from them that his food is good, like over and over. But
is a good
is it
cook.
good? Like, what do you think? Is it good?
So-
Too saucy, seasoned well?
They're like, no, you're a fucking amazing prodigy. So if we're like going off the allegory, he was kind of like to himself. He's like, oh, I really am just like this awesome director. Like I fucking rock, actually. What does
Yeah.
people know?
But each of the two chefs mentioned Twitter to him. And they're like, oh, don't worry about it. He's completely oblivious to the whole social media world. And he goes back home. He's hanging out with Percy, makes the best looking grilled cheese of all time.
Mm.
There's like 8 different kinds of cheese on there. He butters and oils the grill first. And then as he flips it over, rebutters all the little spots that didn't get the butter on it.
I need to buy one of those little flat tops. I like those.
But he makes that. And my question here is, what the hell is this kid watching where a cat kills terrorists with a machine gun on his iPad?
That was a weird addition. Yeah.
That was awesome.
It's a great show. But Carl tells
Why was
Percy,
he so dark?
I don't know, you were super dark for a second.
Outside.
Well, Carl tells Percy to make him a Twitter. They create this Twitter account, and Percy's just enjoying his time doing like mundane activities with his dad because it makes him feel like his dad still lives at home. And Percy falls asleep at his place, and it's the middle of the night, and Carl's just reading reviews of his restaurant on Twitter and all the responses to it.
Mm.
And he sees Ramsey Michelle's review and decides to reply to it and goes to bed. But he's oblivious to the notifications blowing up on his iPad because he thought that with Twitter, he just DM'd him. He just sent him a personal message.
It's fucking old.
Old ass. Well, the next day, Percy tells him he's going viral. And Carl's like, well, I DM'd him. He's like, no, that was a reply. That's public. Everyone can see it. And this critic retweeted it to all of his 123,416 followers.
Yeah, that's not a phone. That's a fish.
You're dumb. But you were immediately like, when you saw him replying, Twitter savvy as you are, you're like, oh no.
Did I sound like that?
Yeah. You're like,
Shaky voice and all.
oh no.
that
No,
was
that
me.
was not
No,
you.
that was me for sure.
But so
God clip that.
the chef replies again, telling him back in his office, he's like, come by again, asshole. I'll prove you wrong. They're like, hey, don't send that. And he's like, it's already sent.
Yeah, it's too late.
And so Carl drops Percy off at his mom's, and she tells him he
Bless
needs
you.
more freedom, and that apparently she's been offering him this gig to get a food truck so he can cook exactly what he wants and have no one overseeing him. But he's like, no, I'm a top-end chef. I don't own a food truck. This is what I do. And he goes back to work. He's very excited because they've got a full house. All reservations are booked from the tweets that are going out. And he's creating this brand new tasting menu for the critic coming back tonight. And Riva comes back in, being strict as hell again, because he's like, well, we're sold out. We're going to have big profits. Let's do what you did the last time. And Carl's unwilling to budge on the menu. He's like, we got 2, I don't know what the scale was, but he's like, we only got 2 stars last time. Like, let's switch it up. He's obviously coming here again for something new, something that I told him that I can truly make and make him happy about. And he's like, no, we're going to cook what we did last night. That's the final say.
Makes sense on both sides, I think. Which is part of the strengths of this movie. It all sort of makes sense. Like, it's like, no, we're not going to change the menu because you got in a fucking Twitter fight.
He was also like, anytime you try and tweet something, I need the okay on that now.
Yeah, because he's a crazy guy. He tweets like Kanye.
It's not that bad.
For business. It was pretty good for business, though, actually.
Yeah, he was going to say, how about you sit on my face? Or he could have tweeted, I fucking hate the Jews.
Yeah.
There are 2 things he could have done.
I'm so
could've.
tired, but when I wake up, I'm gonna be super racist.
Happens to all of us. But yeah,
I've been there.
they have the big
You're always
controversy.
tweeting that shit.
When I'm sleepy.
He is on NyQuil. And then he quits.
He quits. He's done. He's like, you know what? If I can't do my own menu, you said the kitchen's my domain. You're taking over. I'm gone. Tries to get Tony, his sous chef, to come with him. Tony freezes and he's like, you know what? I'm out. Martin tries to join him. He's like, I gotta come with you. He's like, you gotta stay and have a stable job. And so we get this little back and forth scene where the restaurant is kind of, I mean, it's doing well, but it's struggling in a way where things are starting to go awry a little bit. And the critic is there, very upset that all of his meals are the same. And the other back and forth scene is Chef Casper, who took all of his ingredients that he bought for the tasting shit, is at home just chopping away, making some great looking meals at home.
Like some octopus, I think he's got in there.
And all of it was very artistic and extravagant meals just because he can. He's showing himself that he can do it. It's going to be good.
His whole thing is, even though he's fired, he's still going to come to the restaurant and come in his face like, here's the real food.
But he doesn't bring any. He sees the tweets that are being tweeted from critic Ramsey.
He's not going to come in his face. Is that the sound?
Ultimate gotcha.
The ultimate gotcha. Public masturbation right into your dumb little smug. How dare you be so smarky with me?
It's a molten inside. He comes inside the lava cake.
Yeah, how's this?
It's liquid.
Chocolate cake.
Don't give away the end. Yeah.
But so Carl sees the tweets that critic Ramsey has been tweeting, sitting there, and he's calling Molly on the phone. He's like, "Keep him the fuck there. I'm gonna be there soon." Storms into the restaurant and makes a giant scene in front of everyone and the critic.
He does.
Grabs food off of... He does!
He does.
Grabs food off of other people's plates, crumbles it in his hands.
I thought he was just going to give him the dishes that he made at home. I thought he was coming in to be like, look, this is what I wanted to do. And then he doesn't.
He doesn't!
And he just got mad instead. It was just, fuck. I hate this guy.
Goes viral, the whole deal.
Mm-hmm.
And so now he's with Inez's publicist, Amy Sedaris, because he was going viral for the meltdown. And Seth just heard the voice of Amy Sedaris and was like, wait. And I was like, yes, that's it. He was like, wait.
Yeah. I couldn't think of her name, but I knew it was Princess Carolyn right away.
From BoJack.
David Sedaris' sister.
Mm-hmm.
Is he a film? He's a novelist. That's right.
Yeah.
But
we talked about this forever ago.
But so he talks to the publicist and she's like, you know, she keeps trying to get him onto Hell's Kitchen. But he's like, no.
He would have slayed.
He should have done it.
He probably should have done it.
Yeah.
But without a job and now on the search, Carl has to break the news that New Orleans isn't going to happen with him and Percy anytime soon. And Carl goes out and meets up with his staff and Molly, and they all talk about, you know, new opportunities and how he's not been happy at the restaurant, even though this is where he's been. He needs a brand new start with something new to be happy again. But he opens up to Molly, says, I've got no new job opportunities presenting at the moment because of this meltdown. He used to have it, but not anymore.
And he's like over the hill, not the hot young guy he used to be.
Yeah. And so he breaks down. He breaks down to his ex-wife, and she tells him, "Come to Miami with me."
Yeah.
Just like
me and Percy going to Miami to see my dad.
That just takes any sort of serious emotion out of it when she's on there, you know. I think
a little bit.
She's like when she's like, I don't know. Yeah, you seem down in the dumps. You come to Miami.
Do you only know the Cholo accent?
Look, that's what she does.
She doesn't do Cholo.
I didn't think mine was great, but you said it was pretty good. So when I heard his, and I was like, "Oh no!" You said you made it sound like it was worse than mine.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
She's annoying.
Objectively, I have this running theory where she still doesn't know English. She's just reading off of cue cards.
I'm sure she is.
She can read English. She just doesn't speak it.
Yeah. Doesn't know all the sounds they all make.
Yeah, she doesn't get letters yet.
That's kind of why I like her character in Modern Family too, is because that is like this one. She's not supposed to be that.
Yeah, that's good casting. This is just a favor, and she's hot to look at.
In Modern Family, it's not a good fit she is a like a wife that he found, like almost like a gold digging wife that is Latino.
Yeah, because he's like an old rich dude who just like was getting whatever he wanted.
Yeah, but anyway. This is mostly an opportunity for him to come to Miami to kind of nanny his son, but really to spend time with his son. And so the whole family's in Miami together, watching the grandpa perform some Latin jazz music at a bar. And Carl and Inez kind of dance together a little bit, and you can just see pure joy on Percy's face as he watches his parents.
That kid made me cringe so much.
Why?
He's a bad actor. He sucks. He's getting my nom in 15 episodes.
What?
Yeah, I hate him.
I might tag on with you.
Yeah.
It's between him and
Sorry.
Sophia.
They're different categories.
So
Yeah, maybe they get double
win-win.
representation then.
I'm going to tell you right now, this kid runs laps around William Fegsley.
I don't know. Fegsley sucked, but this kid, I don't know. Some of the moments, I know.
I honestly can't trust you guys either because you voted Constance Wu worst actress.
Who can you trust?
It's part of being an actress is making good decisions on the movies you're in.
Yeah, well, Janet Camp was a nominee, and she should have won for Love on a Leash, but
She had a pretty good scene in that, though.
a singular scene.
Yeah, where she was just sexually
She's
assaulted, and she acted her heart out. You know, she was in tears, and then this guy's like, "I'm gay, have my kids, so my parents don't get mad at me." And she's
Well,
like, "I just
yeah.
want like a regular guy to hang out with." And she's like, "Fine, a guy that's sometimes a dog. I'll settle for that. At least he didn't try to rape me or tell me he was gay and say let's be married anyway."
She's bearing
You
her
know what? I
soul.
agree with you.
That's the best case scenario, and she
And
acted
it's a
her heart
better
out.
movie.
And it's a better movie than Lyle Lyle Crocodile.
Disagree there, but I
Well,
will give you. You sold me on the Janet Camp shit.
Yeah, of course, because I can bullshit my way out of anything, man. Don't give me a prompt. I'll do it.
He's a
Mm-hmm.
Well, so they're dancing
I'm
and
intelligent
whatnot.
artificial.
Percy's very happy to see his parents enjoying time together, and after that, they're in Little Havana eating some Cubano sandwiches, and Inez admits that Carl's are better. Like he's like really starting to think maybe I should bring this Miami style food out to LA. Like people would enjoy this, and a food truck could be a good idea. And so he goes to visit Inez's ex-husband, Robert Downey Jr., who is the one who can sell him the food truck.
he's like a kind of rich investor type figure in the movie, and he's throwing fireballs. He's good in this.
Things get really confusing with carpet and maybe his receptionist being pregnant, who could be his, but it's not. But should he raise it? But what color carpet should he go with? Or should he just keep having them wear the booties? He does a great job.
I think he's throwing fire.
Robert Downey Jr. is always throwing fire. He's
got a lot of character in him.
Underlooked often, and I think mostly viewed as the Iron Man kind of actor, but everything that he does usually slaps.
I mean, I haven't seen a whole lot of him outside of Iron Man.
Tropic
Days.
Thunder.
I haven't seen
The
Tropic
Judge?
Thunder. I have seen Due Date. Due Date was
I've
pretty
seen
good.
The Judge.
I think he.
You haven't seen Tropic Thunder?
No.
Oh.
I think he picked some pretty good movies to be in, but to go back on Luke's point of it's your responsibility to pick good movies for yourself and not be in Lyle Lyle Crocodile. But he also like every movie I've
Part
seen
of your
him in,
actor clause.
Yeah. It's in fine print, and people don't read that, especially Nick Cage. But for RDJ, I feel like he's at whatever movie I've seen him in, he's just the same guy, which is fine. It's a cool guy, but it's the same guy.
Have you seen him
He
in
is
any of his
kinda
like
RDJ.
80s and 90s stuff where he's drugged out?
No, I'd love to though.
Well,
Laugh at him.
Yeah.
he ends up getting on
Relate.
about this food truck thing, and they pull the food truck around, and it needs a lot of work. So it's just repo time. They're gonna clean it out. They're gonna tear everything out, and he's got Percy there to help him with. But Percy gets shit task after shit task.
Poor
Big
kid.
cleaning montage.
A good clean until they get into a little spat over like this disgusting caked over pan that looked like it had potato au gratin in it, maybe
Yeah.
that had sat in the fridge for
Like maggots in it.
an unknown amount of time.
Yeah.
He
I
was-
would throw that away.
He was like, "You're not throwing things away in the kitchen." I was like,
That's one thing you should probably think about.
"Those other pans, yes, they had a little bit of like grime on it, cleanable. This
Yeah.
was covered head to toe."
And I never saw him sanitize it. He just scraped it. So
Then he scraped it.
he took it to its penthouse.
But they get in a little spat. He's like, "Oh, you know what? I was rude to you. Let's go shopping for a stove for the food truck." Seth got so giddy here about food truck stove shopping.
I was so excited, dude.
He's like, "Oh my god,
Something about
this sounds fun."
Your
something
dream.
about- yeah, like starting a new life and Like not having any responsibilities besides where you live and drive in the same thing and also work there and you can go wherever you want. Well, if you're traveling, cross country, you could. If it's just you,
I call the stove.
Sleeping on the stove.
No,
there was just something charming about it.
It's kind of maybe sad that the American dream has got to that point, but there is a little American dream, like we're gonna set off on our own and have our own little thing, and no one's gonna be my boss. And I think everyone who's cooked in a restaurant or something, it's like the 8th or 9th plan, like plan H or I on the, like I'll just start a food truck.
Yeah, it definitely is. That's both of my head chefs I've had at By All Means have both been like, yeah, food truck would just be nice to go and do my own thing and not deal with
so have we.
Kane. Yeah. It's freeing.
There you go.
It doesn't matter what the money you're making is or anything. It's just you're cooking for yourself.
Yeah. Well, they buy a shit ton of stuff.
They do.
Knives, pans, a fryer, a stove, all that. And they're putting the new equipment in the truck. When Martin shows up,
chest knife. I think that's
he does.
Note too.
It is. And they're trying to put things in the truck. When Martin shows up in a cab, he quit his job even after he was promoted to shoe chef and is going to work on the food truck with them. He's like,
shoe chef.
Yeah, he cooks shoes.
Shoe chefs.
He's like, I told you, I'm going to go wherever you go. And so
they're in love. They
go to the market to shop for some ingredients, and Martin cooks up some killer pork. You were also oohing and awing at like the marinating process of it while he's making all the brines and the sauces and whatnot.
Oh yeah, he was doing his mojo.
Mm-hmm. Some oranges, some onions, some garlic, some chili, lime juice, and they get back. They're ready to serve some of the guys that helped them load the equipment into the truck, and they're selling like crazy. Yeah, they're selling them like crazy to these guys. When Percy tries to sell a burnt Cubano, I guess they weren't selling; they were just kind of giving them out because they were free. And Carl pulls them off the truck to tell them about this is his passion and how they have to treat everything with love when they do it. Because if you're not passionate about what you're doing, then you shouldn't be doing it anyway.
How can you love it?
Yeah. And he's like, you know what? I get it. He even responds to his dad, yes, chef. I was like, oh.
That's cute.
Nice little touch. And so after cooking all day, they take a break. They're making a plan. They're going to test things out down in like South Beach before going cross country back to LA. They're smoking cigars. They're drinking beers. And Percy's like, I want to come too. He's like, you probably shouldn't, you've got school. He's like, no, I'm on break. I'm coming. And he's like, well, let's see if your mom approves. Like, mom already approved.
Yeah.
Texting his mom already. And
Same thing he did earlier in the movie.
We're going to have a little family summer road trip bonding experience. And they're like, all right, we're going to get to bed. Well, I got this cousin. Let's put a fresh paint of coat on here. He's like, I don't need a fresh paint. He's like, I got a cousin that knows a guy. And that's like, how many guys does your cousin know? But they pull up the next day. Martin's cousin put a fucking brand new paint job, a banging sound system, chromed out all the sides and the wheels. This thing looks legit.
Pimp my ride.
Assumably 12 hours tops.
He did pimp his ride. There's a fish tank in there.
Yeah. It had go-go boots.
This man loves tires. Mountain Dew. Let's put a fountain dispenser in his Volkswagen Jetta.
Those cars were undrivable.
Wait. It can't be a Volkswagen Jetta with a dude. Only hot girls drive Jettas.
Hot girls drive Jettas. I drive a Jetta. 5% of Jettas are ugly girls, unfortunately.
Jesus Christ.
It's the facts.
There's no guys, though?
There's no guys allowed to buy Jettas. There's a clause.
Or a Yaris.
Actually, buy whatever kind of car you want. Don't let me tell you.
Yeah, fuck that.
Those cars are compact, nice and affordable.
They get good gas mileage.
Yeah.
What is that?
The Hannibal Buress.
Yeah. What is that song?
It's Open Mike Eagle and Hannibal Buress.
What's it called? Yeah. It's like Life Advice or something like that. I don't know.
Like the advice show.
Both of you guys are like.
That's like one of my favorite rappers of all time. I can't remember.
And there's just Hannibal Buress.
Doug Stamper, of course.
Me and my man, let's go Stamper.
Guys, go check out Doug Stamper. That song is awesome.
Yeah,
Hannibal Buress just has this little comedy skit in the middle of it.
Let's focus on Open Mike Eagle too, though, because he's great.
No, that's true.
After you listen to Doug Stamper, go listen to all of his discography.
But if you want to hear the Yaris bit,
Yaris. Sounds just
He
like
just
that.
he just roasts cars and what you shouldn't get. But
And LeBron's hairline.
after this whole makeover of the truck, Percy's there, Martin, Carl, they pull up to South Beach and they start selling shit like crazy. In addition to cooking with them, Percy's also tweeting that Chef Carl Casper is back and where he is at. And as they're going, a cop stops their operation. And this man wanted so many pictures.
It's Russell Peters, who always like finds his way into movies, I feel like.
I like Russell Peters.
He always gets like 2 minutes in every movie, I feel like, where he gets to just like let Russell Peters cook.
I think I remember. Was he
so to speak.
Was he Aziz's friend in Master of None?
Mm-hmm.
I've only seen that show once. I can't remember a lot of it.
Ask Alex. She'll be like, yes.
She's on the phone, I think.
Oh,
The weird guy?
the cop.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
No, the weird guy in Master of None.
Which one is the weird guy?
If you don't know, then let's move on.
Okay.
No.
Well, this
note-
cop wanted picture after picture.
He did. My note
He did.
Is that I think this movie did a pretty good job of like the issue of how do you like show a text or a tweet or something that pops up. It's every single movie I've seen except for one. It's been like a hindrance to the movie where it's like it's clunky. You know, we have to zoom in on his hands tweeting and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I guess too. Social Network did it pretty well, I think, in that way.
Yeah.
But I think Decision to Leave did it amazingly well. That's the only movie I've seen where it's like a really cool artistic way to show it.
The other one that I think
that's like transparent kind of in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like they like had it over their faces, and it was like you dove into it. It was really cool a way to do it.
The other one that I know that does it this way also is the film version of The Fault in Our Stars, where you can see their text bubbles as they type, which Seth watched with me for the first time and hated.
When?
Sure.
Back at my house on Lux with my family.
Oh yeah. Well, I read the book and the movie like missed a lot of. It wasn't just little details that I was upset about. It was like big parts of characters that they.
I think I was hanging out
up.
with you and Molly, and we decided to watch that because she was like, "I love this," and you watched. You're like, "This is bad."
This movie sucks.
But yeah, there's only a few that ever do it. You're always doing like an over-the-shoulder zoom in, trying to see the small text on the screen.
It usually, I don't know. I always feel like it's always clunky, and it did a pretty good job in this one.
Yeah, I never like it. I think you just leave that shit out of it.
The one thing that I thought was a bit excessive was the little animated birds flying when somebody tweeted.
I kind of like that. It was like a little tiny bit of like magical realism for a second. Like, yeah, fuck it.
It wasn't great, but it could have been worse because it was kind of.
Oh, it could have been so bad,
so much worse.
So it's a minute detail.
Because if you're not paying attention, you might just miss it.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Blink and miss kind of thing. Which is if you're gonna integrate that kind of technological thing, like the social media shit, it should be a blink and miss kind of thing. It shouldn't be like, look, we're on Twitter. Look at this big bird.
The bird flies into the screen.
He's gonna get blown up on the Challenger later.
But so, they're on the road. Percy's making vines and Facebook pages for the trucks. He's also doing a little project where it's called this 1 second video where he takes like a 1 second clip every day and he's going to splice it all together at the end of their road trip. And
they have a scene at night where they put cornstarch on their balls. Did not need this one.
You probably didn't.
I liked
leave this.
So it's like been there, done that.
I've never put cornstarch in my balls, but I would.
Marching band all the time. Oh, we did.
Cornstarch?
Yeah.
High school or college marching band?
High school.
You were in a college marching band?
Yeah, he was part of the marching band for a year with the Grizz.
That's awesome. What did
you play?
He
did the cymbals.
The cymbals.
The cymbals? Interesting.
I was a cocky percussionist, and I didn't practice the audition piece, and I botched it because I was sight reading it. So then they stuck me on cymbals.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
It did suck.
Which percussion would you preferred?
Trombone, probably.
That's not a percussion.
That's what I did all 4 years of high school.
That's your best, a snare?
Probably of the marching band ones. I was a hot shit little drummer in high school.
Can you do a full drum set?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
In pep band.
I remember there was a little story. There was once
we went. I was little.
We were in Missoula and we went sledding up in the South Hills. And they're like at this little park. The sledding was rough because it was all ice, basically. We were getting torn up. We played this game called Marauders. It rocked, but
We know Marauders.
there was a little park there where they had like little musical things, and it was like a little marimba kind of thing with chimes.
Okay.
Like, Lucas, play us something. We're all like swinging and whatnot, and he played us just beautiful little ditty.
I
at
think
this
it was
park.
He goes
Take
crazy.
on Me, probably.
It was beautiful.
That's good.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, they put some cornstarch on their balls in the middle of the night, and they end up stopping in New Orleans to set up the truck and get some real beignets for Percy. Percy's so happy that like his dad took him to the market, and he's like, "Well, what are we gonna buy here?" And he's like, "Nothing. I just wanted to get beignets with you." Isn't like a true moment where Percy's like, "My dad wants to spend time with me," and they come back from shopping to see the craziest line built outside the truck. Like, this was like a block long of just people at the food truck. And this is all because Percy tweeted about the truck with a geotag too. And they're like, well, now what's a geotag?
They did. They said it like that.
Yeah, it's like, this is a Vine, old man. And then they hop in there selling left and right. They're also selling beignets now. Just like a
Yeah. What was? Oh, they were also selling shrimp po' boys. They tailor a couple things on each of the menus from where they stop based on what people want. Yeah.
Based on race.
What would you have ordered?
based on race. Probably the Cubano. Does look good.
Seth?
I don't know. They got like a water and bowl of grapes, maybe.
That's always been it.
Can I get that bowl of grapes? Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be $18. You know what? Never mind. I'll get the $7 Cubano.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what goes on any of that. I just picked the one without tomatoes and onions on it.
How do you feel about pickles?
I don't like pickles.
Mustard?
I've tried a dozen times in my life to eat pickles. Mustard I can do very, very small amounts. Mixed with another sauce.
My middle school kids go nuts for pickles. I brought them in snacks for some of them, and that's all they wanted was pickles at 7:50 in the morning. Crazy bastards.
You should try pickled onions.
Did you bring him like little pickles,
Like
like,
a jar
little
of
dills,
pickles, and
or
then
like sliced
just-
ones,
Yeah, like sliced ones or little ones, and then just descend on
like
me.
gherkins?
Yeah, I like the little gherkins.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried pickled onions?
No, we make it at work. I work with them every day.
Love pickled onions.
I'll try
They're your
one.
friends.
They're my friends. Yeah.
So
My
you
coworkers
probably
pickled
wouldn't like
onions.
a Cubano
Why?
because of the
Mustard
pickles and the mustard.
He
and
was-
the pickles. Yeah.
You just get a sandwich.
You don't like shrimp, so you wouldn't get the po' boy.
No.
So I guess you're just eating beignets.
One
and
sandwich,
I
please.
eat beignets.
Yuca fries.
One sandwich, please. I would like yuca.
You were like, "What is yuca?"
Mm-hmm.
So you would.
And now I love it.
But they
You
get
can suck
this
at these
crazy.
nuts.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh my god!
That was pretty good.
Jesus.
That was
He's
good.
been
You
sitting.
can,
on that
by the
one.
way.
You can.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. I've been
Not
waiting
both.
for that offer.
Which one's the Yucatan Peninsula? Is that the weird little penis-looking one on the western part of Mexico?
Yes.
Thanks.
No.
Is it? I think it's
No. That's the Baja.
yeah, it's the one by Louisiana. That's the Yucatan.
Yeah.
Louisiana. Like, there's just a
Right,
weird
by
little one.
Texas. That where the Gulf of Mexico hit. I think that's the Yucatan.
Everyone start Googling right now.
Hurry! First one to Google Yucatan can suck these nuts.
Oh no, it's way
It-
down there. What am I thinking of?
It's just showing you pictures of the scenery.
This doesn't help.
No geographical map.
I'm thinking of Tamaulipas, of course.
Of course. Oh, it's the very bottom of Mexico. This little thing. The little upslope into the Gulf.
That's the
So the
Yucatan
Mayans are
Peninsula?
chilling.
Yeah.
That's not even Mexico, is it? That's like
Yeah.
El Salvador and Honduras area.
No, because they go down. Mexico makes that little up, and then they branch off down.
It does?
It
Mexico has
does.
a tail?
Yeah.
I'm
good
definitely in a different universe than I used to be.
It's where
in.
Cancun is and stuff, I think.
Cancun
So they hit the
not a
road.
country.
They hit the road, yeah.
Cancun's dangerous.
They make this giant thing for New Orleans. Did you?
Superbad? Better
What?
watch out, she'll take your cash. She's
Oh.
a gold.
Did you see how much butter this kid put on one of those?
That's why bread
Uh,
tastes so good.
I don't think you know how much butter this. It was like
Well, it fries
a
it.
spat.
So,
It was a
yeah.
spatula full of butter directly onto the bun.
He was gonna scrape most of it off.
now he's doing what he's told.
His Michelin star chef dad was like,
Yeah.
put as much butter as you can fit on that bun.
Big baseball size right in the middle. Don't spread it out evenly and just see what happens.
Oh, but anyway, so
I'm a chef.
they're now en route to Austin, Texas. They're all singing Sexual Healing together. The kid's very confused about the song.
This is where I cringed about the kid.
It was
Did
him
not-
just
Yeah.
Did not
Purposefully
like the
cringe,
acting.
but-
Yeah, and maybe it was a director's choice. Maybe Jon Favreau made the kid cringe, but there was the scene where he's holding his nose and like, what are these guys
He
doing?
dabbed
And he's
on
like, and then he's like, oh, this
he
is
dabbed on him.
everybody's having a good time, and he starts like laughing, but it's horrible.
Well, they arrive in Austin and they have a hookup at a barbecue spot for the best brisket I've ever seen. This brisket had me going.
They looked good. They looked fucking sick.
And this is the Michelin star chef brisket or barbecue place that
Roy
sells out
Choi.
before noon. They are buying what is a slab of brisket called? They put a shank, but I didn't know like I was gonna put a loaf, and I was like, that's not right.
I guess shank is
A shank.
Rotunda?
They buy 4 rotunda.
Sure.
They buy 4 barts of brisket.
Mhm.
And Seth was immediately like, they're cutting that with a pocket knife. He's like,
Yeah,
that
they don't
shit
even
is
need a knife.
that shit is
Tender.
so tender with the perfect blackened barbecue edge. It was so pink and juicy.
They nailed it.
Oh my god. But so they take those shanks and they're gonna cook up some specialty sandwiches for Austin. They make some sliders, they do the Austin Midnight, which was a twist on the Medianoche, and they're having a great time when while they're cooking, Inez calls them. She's like, I can pick up Percy. And he's like, no, he's having a blast. He's helping me here. And over this loud background over the phone, Inez and Carl are yelling about Percy, but they end up yelling like she mishears him and she yells, I love you too back at Percy or at Carl.
Mm-hmm.
They're falling back for each other because he's becoming more of a family man.
Yeah, he's cucking himself with himself.
He is.
With his own son.
With his own dick.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the cornstarch. But so Carl opens up to Percy
That's why she's with him.
about
It turns into bread in
Hush
the
puppies.
womb. You put cornstarch.
well, Carl opens up it's a yeast infection.
No,
Hey,
it's bread.
Carl opens up to Percy after their day in Austin
birthday
that
with
he's had
sourdough.
and I
That's
ate it
good.
right up. I
Yeah.
could eat your little bread toes.
Girl, why you taste like sourdough? You've been fucking cornstarch, man. That's bad.
That's how you
Well, anyway,
know.
Carl opens up to Percy.
what?
What is
She's
that
been
a
fucking the
telltale sign
cornstarch,
to?
man.
She's been fucking cornstarch, man.
The classic superhero. He
That's
fucks your
sourdough.
wife.
I am the cornstarch man.
Fucks
Fucks
your
your
wife
wife.
and leaves a trail of sourdough behind in a place you wouldn't expect it.
That fucker. And he's
The
an
uterus.
analogy for Japan. Yeah.
What?
For like the economic situation of Japan following the 1950s.
What is Lucas saying?
They took a lot of America's industrial sort of juice.
Well, they didn't impregnate our women with sourdough.
It's a metaphor for the world economy, of course, Brandon.
I don't know enough
I don't
to
either.
dispute him right now.
1980s is the baby.
And
There's
1950s
a
is the fucking
30-year
with the cornstarch.
gestational period?
It's the
For
world
Japan?
economy. It doesn't move like a fucking
Okay,
Hulu series.
1950s Japan.
Yep.
Not hypothetically, metaphorically, fucks America
Decided-
with a cornstarch dick.
Exactly. Well, they decided to focus more on technology and manufacturing and sort of took America's place as the world leader in those sectors for a lot of that.
Right. And
Okay.
still almost until recently probably had that crown.
Exactly. So they cucked our manufacturing sort of iconography.
So they're the cornstarch dick, and
Yeah.
the
And they
technology
flourished for that reason.
technology was the uterus.
Is the sourdough.
They left behind the sourdough and then they took off
Correct.
to go do more
It's
technology.
history.
They should rewrite those history books.
I'm working on it.
No, they should have it the exact same, but all the footnotes are just insane allegories to sex acts.
Oh, I get it.
Well, after their day of
For kids,
sex,
they don't get they're bored.
They
They're
have
like,
to.
oh, cornstarch.
They're gonna know
Like,
this. Yeah.
yeah, they'll get it. This is bad. We're doing bad things right now.
well, Carl opens up to Percy that he's had such a great time with him. They're going to get back to LA soon, and things are probably going to go back to normal. They're going to both be busy with school and with work.
Did you cry at this?
Nope. And
I
Percy
laughed
won't.
at this.
Percy won't be able to work with him every day on the food truck anymore, no matter how much each of them wanted them to.
I was laughing at this part too when they're sitting on top of the
Yeah, because
truck.
it's like he's like breaking up with his summer girlfriend.
Yeah. And he's like,
I know we've had a lot of fun, but now we're gonna go back to school.
yeah, let's go back to
We're
just
gonna meet
being
people.
friends instead of father
I'm
and
not gonna
son.
see you. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll always have the summer though.
Summer days.
There was
I think it was probably intentional because I thought that was funny.
There's a lot of shit I laughed at that Brandon's like, why are you laughing
Yeah.
right now?
Well, they finally get back to LA. Carl drops Percy off at his mom's house, and he heads
There
back
was
to his house.
There was a little cut of a scene I think in Texas with far too many wind turbines going on.
I don't
There
know
was
where it
maybe-
was. I said it
there was
looked
maybe
like Great
110.
Falls. I said it looked like the
Yeah.
area outside of Great Falls, but
Oh, I missed that. I was Googling.
I was busy.
he heads back to his own home where he opens up his email and sees Percy had sent him his 1-second video project he made on the trip. And he opens up the video, and it's just a nice little reflection of him with his son. I was crying. Marina and Seth
knew
were
it.
both watching me out of the corner of their eyes.
We were, yeah.
And then
We were
smiling at
watching.
each other.
We were looking at you crying, and we looked at each other. We're like, and then let us start watching.
I knew this would get you.
It was
flossing.
beautiful.
It was hilarious. He was flossing.
It was beautiful.
I'm gonna be flossing.
I'll be
That's what got you the
flossing.
most.
Oh,
The
flossing.
flossing.
My little
Oh,
note is,
flossing.
He cried at
shitty
the
little-
flossing.
Shitty little home video that Brandon will cry at.
It
And
was
I think that's
beautiful.
the point. Yeah, it's like not supposed to be like Hollywood quality, but it's like homemade by the kid. That's why you gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, it also seemed like one of those things that they were doing Twitter the whole movie, and then halfway through in production, they were like, you know, it'd be cool if we did one of those 1-second time lapse things, because it's
Yeah.
not made clear that the son does anything with video or has been taking these pictures. It's just like almost to the end of the road trip, they're like, oh, by the way, I've been making this fucking video.
No, he does say it early on.
He
like
does.
when they leave like South Beach and whatnot. He's like, oh, I'm doing this project.
Yeah, and
But
his
it doesn't
dad's like,
come up
"All
much
right,
in
little
between."
fucking
It's,
weirdo.
I guess it's early in the road trip, but it's almost like 3/4 of the way through the movie, though.
Yeah,
There's like 40 minutes left. It feels like they added on. They're like, this is going to be good. We're going to touch some people with this. And then
True.
they touched you. They diddled your soul with their fucking 1-second montage. No, they don't go in through there. They
were fondling me.
they fondled your soul, your heart sack.
But he sees this video. He calls Percy right away to tell him he wants him on the truck with him whenever possible. After schools, he's got to finish his homework. Money's going to go to a college fund, yada, yada, yada. And now you get a big
Yeah,
LA
nice.
food truck scene, like a little expo. And they're cooking up Cubanos like crazy. And his ex-wife Inez is even working on the truck with them all.
They're
It's
in
a
love.
family.
She's taking the orders. And out of nowhere, Ramsey Michelle, the food critic, shows up
Apparates like a ghost.
on
Out
the
of nowhere.
on the truck behind him. He's like, ooh, I'm dead.
He's got a lightsaber.
Out of nowhere, Dracula with a lightsaber comes
Um,
through,
a
cuts off the heads
Morbius.
of every main character.
He's so cool.
What a sick ending to a movie. Make an entirely serious thing that's an allegory for your entire career in Hollywood, and then you just Dracula with a lightsaber kills
That's so cool.
everybody.
That would be the ultimate flex of like I have creative freedom. My movie's not gonna
Yeah.
end like the fucking people want it to end.
Some
Giant
Elaine
shrimp
May
comes
shit.
and eats
He
the
had to
earth.
get so many copyrights to get.
Giant shrimp eats the earth.
He's gonna get so
But
many
it's just like
copyrights just for lightsaber and a Dracula.
We'll just give him a sword then, and
No.
make it any
No,
Dracula. It doesn't have to be the Dracula.
I want it to
Make
be
Yeah,
the
just a
Dracula,
Dracula.
Just
and-
Dracula in general.
He's
I
got
want
a
it to be
glow-up
the
sword.
Dracula and
He's got a
Count Dooku's curved lightsaber.
And then the shrimp.
It's this What if the
And then, of
yeah.
course, don't forget about the shrimp.
I would love that if you had like a regular sized shrimp, but you just had a tiny little cut
No,
out of the
I like to
earth.
think of it as like the shrimp from
Yeah.
the earlier, like one of the prawns.
But you can't afford. Yeah, okay, it can still be that. I'm
It's
saying
like
you
a
can't
re-
afford to CGI a giant shrimp, so you have just like
A
clearly a
tiny-
home video of a shrimp you bought at a store, and it's got
Like a
cape
cover of
marble.
textbook.
Yeah. Oh
It's
no!
like I ran out of time.
People
We get
screaming.
20 minutes until the first movie.
I like to think of it as the prawn revenge story from earlier. I'm gonna eat the earth because you ate my brothers.
The prawn father.
Yeah.
He eats earth.
We should make movies.
We should make movies that are entirely serious, and then the ending is just some stupid bullshit.
Well, out of nowhere, Ramsey Michelle shows up and he's like, "I want to speak with the chef." So he pulls him off he comes off the truck and they get into it a bit over the past until he tells him that he's like, "This food truck shit is sensational." He's like, "This is original. This is back to your roots. You're doing what you love. I can tell what it's doing, and you just let me know. I'm gonna come there. But I sold my website and I'm gonna offer you a job as a partner because I bought a space to open up a restaurant." And I will give you full creative justice over what you cook. As long as it's this kind of shit.
It's like a Ratatouille ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And we were the rats all along.
We were the shrimp.
Just along for the ride. It's a shrimp eat rat world. We're the rats.
No.
But so
I'm scared.
We don't
shrimp away from me. I'm a rat.
Don't
I'm
eat
allergic.
me.
I'm allergic to shrimp. As a
I'm
rat.
a shellfish. It makes me swell.
Do rats have allergies, do you think?
For sure.
Can you test for that?
Yeah, I mean, rat poison kills them, so they're probably allergic to that.
Allergic,
So are we.
it's poison.
Yeah.
It's like saying I'm allergic to cyanide. It's just poison.
You definitely are.
I'm not allergic.
But anyway,
I am.
so now we zoom in on El Jefe, which is the name of their food truck, but it's a restaurant. And it's closed for a private event, which ends up being another wedding party for Carl and Inez as they are together as a family celebrating with Percy. They've got a new restaurant.
It was
Happy
a
little
wedding
family.
party?
Yeah.
What?
She was wearing a wedding dress.
She
Yeah,
was?
Their wedding.
I missed that. I did not catch
were
on to that part.
They were wedding. Duh.
I hated this ending, so I just didn't pay attention.
But that is the end. And you get little outtakes where we get to see Jon Favreau learning how to make the perfect grilled cheese with Roy Choi. Just in his learning process.
Bok choy.
Bok Choi.
Brock Choi would be a great name for a chef.
And that is the end
Hold on, I gotta write down.
of Bart.
I gotta write down Brock Choi.
Of Chef Bart. Yeah, you write down
Chef.
Brock Choi. That is the end of Chef. So we should probably take a little break here. Couple
Pause
little
it.
seconds. And we'll get back with some quotes, ratings,
Bye.
reviews, critic reviews, recommendations, and just
Ah.
some fun little things.
Jeff Goldblum.
I was like a baby eagle.
Baby eagle.
Ah! I'm not making that noise again.
I gotta
Record.
stop.
All right, I have to go pee, I think.
Oh, well, but we missed your.
Oh, Lucas died.
I have to pull up my notes again. Oh, I opened it 6 times. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 quotes.
That's it, huh?
Yeah, I haven't been getting as many quotes lately in movies. Maybe I'm sick.
I have 15.
Hell yeah.
I think Seth has 5.
So you'll go first.
No.
You'll
Seth
do 1.
Seth started taking some halfway through the movie. He's like, oh shit, I forgot to start taking quotes.
That's kind of how I've been. Lethargic.
Yeah, but you said you chose not to take quotes for Red Notice out of spite.
That's true. And it didn't have any good ones.
There were so many Ryan Reynolds quips that you
Yeah,
loved.
Good ones. This is chef's ass.
What?
What is his name even? Does he have a name?
Who?
Chef? Jon
Chef Carl
Favreau.
Casper?
Oh, Carl, yeah. It's weird. Movies have a thin line of where it's like, what's that character's name? They never called him it. Or like dialogue where it's like, hey Carl, how's it going? Carl, what you doing today, Carl? You know.
See, I caught up on
Tough
Carl
balance to
pretty.
strike.
I caught up on Carl pretty early. The two that I struggled with were Inez and Martin.
Martin, yeah, he wasn't a Martin. He should have at least been Martine if they were gonna do that.
Martina McBride. And this is John Leguizamo. You're playing Martina McBride in this movie called Chef.
Martine.
How many quotes do you have?
Are we recording?
No.
Just
I
on
have, like,
YouTube.
4.
4? Lucas has 4.
I guess 6.
So that's
Okay.
awkward. Okay.
Right when we start, I need you to do your
Okay.
cat. Are you ready, Lucas?
You gotta do 5 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, are you ready, Lucas?
Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, play.
Ah!
There you go.
There we go. Dude, Connor used to be so good at those.
Who?
I'm sure Connor.
Hint or
Sheffield.
Sheffield?
Yeah. I mean, you're really good at them too.
That one was bad. That one hurt my voice. That was He-Man. How many quotes do we have? I have 15.
Feed him.
I have 4.
6.
Okay, Lucas, start. Go. 2 of them.
This one is from RDJ. He just says, "You're not a turd, okay? Not a turd." The comforting.
You're artistic. You're not a turd. He said it a lot.
Am I just doing half of mine?
Yeah.
Then my
Actually,
final
you two should probably do all of yours because I have more than you two combined. So do
Yes.
them all. Or you do
Okay.
half, Seth does half, you do your other half, Seth does his other half, I finish.
No, Lucas, read them all.
This one is they're getting the plantanos from the market, and he goes, "Watch out for tarantulas."
That's good.
Ooh. And then he like haunts him.
Spoopy.
And he haunts him like a ghost.
My penultimate one is when they're selling stuff. They're like throwing out requests, which I thought was weird for a food truck. But he's like, "If you can pronounce it, we can make it." Which is
True.
That was one of mine.
a good line. And then
That's
my
good.
last one, Brandon alluded to it earlier, but it is when Inez is like they're yelling at the phone over each other, and she sort of like admits that she loves him. She goes, "I love you too."
That was your best one. That was Sofia Vergara.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a John Favreau impression for a second.
And I was like, that was your best one.
All right, that does it for me. I'm gonna end my quotes there, boys.
End them.
All right. I guess I
I
kind
hung
of
the
have
last
7
one.
technically, but 6 now that one was stolen. Because one of them was just a subtitle that said "man singing" in Spanish instead of like the words.
Yeah, who knows what it is?
Yeah. But my first real one,
Ooh.
the kids cleaning the food truck out.
It's time to set up camp.
Set up camp.
Set up camp.
It's time to set up camp.
Camp.
Is this the Ronald McDonald?
It is Ronald McDonald.
I got
They
the
set up
vibe.
camp.
Very first episode. Spooky Island or whatever it was called. Birthday. No, that wasn't Birthday World.
Spooky Castle or something. Spooky Forest, something like that.
Something
Haunted
like that.
Forest.
House Spooky Castle.
Yeah. Your first real quote.
My first real quote is they're cleaning the food truck out, and the little boy is like, "There's something dead in there," and the dad's like, "Okay, go look for it. Maybe it's a rat."
And I got ate by the
Fun
shrimp.
game.
This is when they're buying.
Their game is find the rat in my food truck.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's shrimps playing it.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe
good.
it can cook for us, he's saying.
Oh yeah, they can ratatouille a shrimp into
He
cooking.
thought that was real.
To
Let's
cooking
find one of
ratatouille.
those. Yeah.
Let's find one of those. My second one here is when they're at the store looking for ovens and stuff for the food truck. And they're looking at this basket, this a wire basket. He goes, "You know what this is?" And he goes, "French fries."
You're right, he says.
The kid goes to the French fries. Yeah, he says, you're right. And they're just looking at a fry, like it's metal wiring. John Leguizamo shows up to be a line cook, and he goes, all right, I'll have you. It pays nothing. And he says, I'll take it.
He's passionate.
Did he ever
He's
get him
passionate.
paid?
No, I think he just kept using his free labor until
Wow.
he killed him with a Dracula
Ooh.
sword.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. If you can pronounce it, we can make it. Oh, this is a subtitle one again, but I had to write it down.
Oh,
it's the
I know this
cornstarch
one.
scene. And the little kid's talking to Leguizamo, and he says, what are you doing? He says, I'm putting a little cornstarch on my werewolves, is what the subtitles thought he said. But he said,
Not huevos.
he said huevos, but yeah, the subtitle said putting cornstarch on my werewolves. So I rewound it, and Brandon's like, "Oh, that's funny." He said werewolves. I was like, "No, he didn't. That's just that's what the words want you to
On these
think."
werewolves.
On me werewolves. And the last,
Nacho Libre shit.
the last one I wrote down because I think it's only funny to me. He comes back from getting the beignets in New Orleans, and he sees the big line, and he's like, so I guess we got to cook some food. But in my head, I was thinking about it objectively, and I was like, oh man, the classic line, this movie, The Chef, where the chef says, guess I got to cook some food.
Use
That
it
was in
as
the
the
trailer,
equivalent of
Yeah.
I'm Morbin here.
Hey, yeah, it reminded me of
Yeah.
Morbius, and he's like, it's time to morb. It's a chef going, it's time
gotta
to
be
cook
real.
food.
We're gonna have a lot of stealth on this one, boys. Yeah.
It made me laugh. I was in tears almost.
So I don't think I had any of mine taken, but let's see. Percy talking to Inez, where are we? And she goes, this is Little Havana. And he's like in Grand Theft Auto?
That's true. It was.
This is the very end of the movie. This is the critic talking to him. In the meantime, you just tweet me wherever you are and I'll come running, all right? Because this shit's good. Delicious. Delicioso.
Oh my god.
Mucho gudo.
Mucho Gudo. I loved
That's
it.
bad.
Well, what are you so excited about?
When Carl finds out about the replies on Twitter, he goes, just can you read it to me, please? Read the reply to me. And Percy goes, at Chef Carl Casper, I would rather have you sit on my face after a brisk walk on a warm day than suffer through that fucking lava cake again. He wrote that to me?
Good line.
He wrote it to everyone.
Good line.
Cornstarch, yep, we already talked about it. This is one from Tony. He goes, oh shit, Chef Big Dog up all night cooking. I went, Big Dog!
Big dog. That's what he does.
That's what I do.
This is them creating the Twitter account. Percy's like, he's like, what do you want your name to be? He's like, Carl. He's like, you can't just put Carl. It's got to be at something. He's like, well, at Carl Casper. He's like, well, that's taken. He's like, somebody took my name? And he's like, how about at Chef Carl Casper? He's like, that's good. And he's like, at Chef Carl Casper. And Carl goes, so is this for sex? He's like, what? Why do you think we use Twitter?
Tony had alluded to earlier.
Yeah.
So you hook up the chicks.
Beginning when they're at the farmer's market and they get the andouille sausage, he's like talking to Percy. He goes, have you ever tried an andouille sausage? He's like, they're great. He's like, do you like spicy? And he's like, no. He's like, well, that's okay. They aren't so spicy anyway.
Yeah, I chuckled at that.
That was good.
This is, I don't remember who was telling Carl this, but he's like talking about Ramsey Michelle. He goes, you know, his online blog was sold to AOL for $10 million. And I was like, AOL?
Buying
this is 2014. Yeah. What does Twitter have to do with getting pussy? That's one of my quotes.
That's a quote?
Yeah.
I ask myself that all the time.
It's probably from Favreau because he was very confused about Twitter the whole movie.
Probably.
Like an old man plot.
Yeah, in 2014.
That's funny.
I've got 5 more. This is Robert Downey Jr. talking to Carl, and he goes, I saw what happened online. It was fucking awesome. And you lost a lot of respect there, but I love that because it shows that you have passion about something.
Love
and
that
I was
for
like,
you.
oh, okay.
Love that.
Another one from Carl, more profound one. I may not do everything great in my life, but I'm good at this. I manage to touch people's lives with what I do, and I want to share this with you.
Sorry, this is kind of a side note. You can buy 16 of those little hats from the movie for
Nice.
only $48.
My next quote is from Seth, and he goes, "Look at this little Florida hat. I love it." And as he's trying to buy hats right next to me on Amazon,
That's so many for the low price of $48.
it's $3 a hat.
If any listeners want to buy me 16 Miami hats, I'll give you my address and my kidney if it came to it.
He would.
Down the road,
He would.
It would be like a
Or
bonding.
a trade.
Not a trade. A favor.
16 hats for 16 kidneys.
I'm just saying, if there were kidney failures down the line and you had bought me hats, I would be way more persuaded to give you one of mine than I would had you not bought me the hats.
You actually just give them one of your hats, not one of your kidneys.
I give
You're
one
going
of them
through
back.
kidney
One
failure.
of the 16
There you go.
back.
You need this.
You need this more than I do right now. I give him my least favorite hat.
My last two are also Seth quotes. Seth just goes right away. My name is Chef.
No, don't quote me on that. That was dumb.
That's great.
Damn it.
His name
And,
was Chef.
His name was Chef.
and this is me and Seth going back and forth. I go,
Oh, good.
or Carl goes, he's talking about the truck. He's like, it's got good bones. And I go, DB Cooper's bones. Seth goes, it's not DB Cooper's bones. It's a food truck, Brandon. Like I was confused.
You were.
I didn't know the difference.
Yeah, you didn't know.
Does it get rid of
And that is the
Those
end of my
bones?
quotes.
these? Me too.
26 quotes down the bucket. Oh, there were a couple overlaps.
Put 'em in
24
the
quotes down the
fryer.
bucket.
Turn him into
Are,
some
are those
quote
French
names.
fries?
It's DB Cooper's bones.
But it's just
French
French fries. All right, it's ratings time. Seth, you're kicking us off. Rotten Tomatoes percentage.
I do think I saw the IMDb one earlier, just so
Okay.
you know. Rotten Tomatoes,
Honest
I'm going to
man.
say...
Weird. Weird answer.
Did I
I'm
get
gonna
it?
say lip trill.
Yeah, which is my language for 78%,
Okay.
I believe.
Ooh. I think it's pretty
Ooh.
high. I think a lot of people liked it. I'm going to go 90%.
I'm going to go 89.
You're
What?
sticking with 78. You
Okay.
asked. Our winner today is Lucas. It's an
Fuck.
87.
I wanted to go
Oh, he
89.
would have.
Brandon.
He wanted it.
Give it to me.
Didn't let him.
No, it's the Offspring, not birds.
Lucas
not
is up 3-2.
The Offspring, not the
Well, I hit that
birds'
one dead
offspring.
on, so don't I get 2 extra points?
Oh, he does. He's
For an
up
extra
4-2.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
Yep.
no.
Lucas. Audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, also a percentage.
He's smiling.
92 percentage points.
He thinks he's getting away from things. This is the audience.
Mhm.
Now I'm going 78 for sure.
It's a
Doing math.
tie.
No!
79.
It's an 85. You can't change after I said it's a tie.
I did.
85.
It's an 85. 87 and 85 on Rotten Tomatoes. All right,
So we
Seth.
both get 100 points if it's a tie.
Okay, so
So
it's 104 to 102.
Good
Close
match.
game.
High scoring.
Seth, Metascore out of 100.
He knows it, doesn't he? Or
Is
that
IMDb the Metascore?
Mhm.
Out of 100, I don't know. I think user reviews, I know if it's out of 10. I know that one.
Okay,
I'll give you a hint. Out of 100.
you definitely know
Metascore.
because that was the hint.
78.
78. Lucas.
73.
Our winner today is Lucas.
Damn.
He's up 105 to 102. It's a 68.
Mm,
And last but not least, Lucas audience score out of 10.
sorry, I could bump the mic.
7.4. What's that?
Oh, 7.3.
It's a
Brandon.
7.3.
Oh,
Even if Seth gets his 2 points, our winner today is Lucas.
Well, you should give me the 2 points anyway, because let's pretend I hadn't seen the
Yeah,
score,
sure.
and Lucas has 7.4. 7.3 is my dog, and I love Price is
He
Right,
does love
Lucas.
7.3.
Yeah.
I
That's a
would have
perfect
7.3.
Yeah. So it's
And
106.
even then, I would have lost.
It's 106
It's a
to
perfect
105.
answer.
106 to
Should have never
105.
answered anything else.
It had to be.
Lucas is our winner.
7.3.
Seth, you owe the listeners a food truck.
Woo!
You get to pick the food.
Pierogies.
Pierogies.
Nice.
Some
So-
Polish cuisine.
We've got an 87
I would
and
have
a
sold them little frogs or something. That's
Yeah, you don't get fried rocks. Not lox. No, you didn't mishear me. It wasn't fried locks. It was fried
Rocks.
rocks.
So
Bitches.
critics 87 and 68 for a 77.5 average, and audiences 85 and 73 for a 79 average. Seth, what are you giving this film?
You two wouldn't believe this, but I'm giving it a 7.3.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
True
this
and
is the
honest.
first movie to be what a 7.3 should be, and not just me repeating it.
Other reasoning?
It was good. I think that some of the characters were fine, which, is good.
Mm-hmm.
Pacing was pretty good, except for the very end. I did not like the ending of this movie. It was
You
closer
didn't
to
even
like
know the ending.
What?
You didn't even know that they got married.
That makes it worse for me that they did get married. It's like too happy. I was close to like a 7.9, but the ending bumped it down to like a 7.3.
Okay.
Because the pacing was really good up until then, and then suddenly it was like, oh my god, everything came true all at once with the food truck. Like he worked
fair.
so hard for everything, went through like his turmoils and his trials, not to mention the tribulations.
Yeah.
And then it gets to that part, and it's like, I even was fine with the critic being like, I have $1 billion, I'll buy a restaurant for you. Because it was kind of established earlier that he'd made a fortune accidentally in the early 2000s. So he gets to that, he buys in the restaurant. But it's just like instead of showing the work with the restaurant, they're just like 6 months later, he's getting remarried to his ex-wife, and also he's got his dream job.
It's fair. Lucas.
I'm in a tougher spot, I think, because a lot of this movie I did really like, and it made me feel a lot of like little happiness. I wouldn't not necessarily like ecstasy or stuff, but I'm just like, yeah, charming. I liked the food. I think the food cooking stuff was good. I think
Mhm.
RDJ was good.
Mhm.
A lot of it wasn't all that challenging, which I don't think a movie like this is meant to be, but that might just be more of my personal taste, where it's kind of like the epitome of like a TNT movie in some form or fashion, or like an ABC family movie or something, where it's just on and you don't have to pay all that much attention, or good vibes. Or
An
Spanish
R-rated
movie.
ABC family movie.
Yeah, that was another thing. I didn't think it needed to be R-rated, just so they could say pussy and fuck a lot. I guess that's
This movie was R-rated?
Mm-hmm. They had 2 F words in it, so it has to be.
That's insane. They should have
I'm
gone
gonna-
further.
I think my score will end up somewhat similar to Seth's. I'm gonna go with the 7.5. I think good vibes. I'm glad I watched it. 7.5.
Yeah.
Fair. I know it's my birthday movie, and usually up to this point, like birthday movies, like I fucking love this movie. It's the best movie ever. But like,
10.
it's not a 10 movie. I just kind of enjoy it. It's just an easy watch. It's fun. There are some like really good stuff, like you said. I love the food shots and the work there.
Yeah, maybe you're hungry.
Some good acting stuff in there. Some not so great. Couple plot holes, but I think I'm an 8.6. I might be a little higher on it because I like.
Couple potholes.
Ooh,
Because they were
nice.
driving a food truck.
Because they cook in pots.
And there's a hole.
And they all had buttholes. And so I'm an 8.6. So 7.3, 7.5, 8.6.
And I forgot my equation from last time.
Oh, you did already?
Yeah.
It's a 7.8 average.
I think on the Sunday movie scale, it's like a 9 or a 9.1 or something. It's pretty good Sunday easy.
You just turn on your TV and you watch something?
Yeah, but you can't be subjective about it.
Well,
And this is
that's why on this.
That's my thing.
And I will say that this is like you said, it's a family film. I mean, even if it's rated R, it's like a top-notch kind of family film. Yeah.
Family.
Because we've watched a lot of shit family films up to this point, and this one actually delivers something. So, you guys want to hear some reviews?
It does. Yeah.
Okay. I've got 5 critics. There were a lot of critics, and they're short, but first is by Peter Travers at Rolling Stone. They said, an artful surprise and an exuberant gift. 3.5 out of 4 stars.
Oh my god, that's high.
It's an 87.5. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Go next one.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm bossing you around.
Next is by Ty Burr at the Boston Globe. He said,
Skip.
funny and heartfelt. Despite its weaknesses, the strengths overpower the parts of the meal that were undercooked. 3.5 out of 4 stars.
Hey, you did like a cooking thing.
Yeah.
So some of the movie was undercooked.
Emugi.
There was a raw chicken on set acting.
Next is
And
by
its name was John Favreau.
Oh.
It's not even a good joke. I don't know why I'm laughing so hard.
the terrible
Gave us
joke.
salmonella.
It's so dumb. Yeah, metaphorically, proverbial salmonella of the audience. That's
Okay.
what he gave us.
Next is by Ken Choi at Wide Lantern.
0 out of 10.
They said there are definitely structural problems, but if you've ever seen the Kristen Bell sloth video on Ellen, that was me during the second half of the movie. Non-stop tears. It was happy crying because Favreau's character was doing what he wanted. Kind of sounds like a me kind of review.
That's the score.
Doesn't have a score.
Did he pay the critics to say this shit? It wasn't this good.
I really love this movie.
Well, yeah, I did too. But I wasn't crying
I cried.
like Kristen Bell
I cried.
about a sloth.
You guys saw me crying. I had the downward lip, like.
Yeah, I might just be like a sociopath or something. Because I looked at you crying and I was like,
No, that's fine. Marina's laughed at me crying a lot.
yeah.
Maybe she's just a sociopath too.
They're just sociopaths.
Next is by Chris Cabin at Slant Magazine. He says,
Skip.
Favreau's most self-satisfied, safe, and compromised film to date, with a true lack of realism and credibility. 1.5 out of 4 stars.
Calling him a coward.
Yep. And last is by Stephen Holden at the New York Times. He says, aggressively feel good and shallow, but highly enjoyable. I thought that exact thing. You can buy?
Yeah, that's probably my most apt review.
Stands for apartment.
I've already finished Cocaine Bear. That's on the next script. I was like, I swear I had another critic reviewer. And user reviews. First off, Plankton Rules, Returner.
Let's go.
February 12th, 2015, they say.
Has he won yet?
No.
Should I start a new list?
Sure. They say, movies about food and chefs are rather popular, and I am particularly fond of them since I adore cooking. And I make an amazing souffle, by the way. So, it's not the least bit surprising that I'd watch the film Chef. However, what is surprising is that I didn't particularly like the film, and it's one of the first foodie films I really haven't enjoyed, though I sure wanted to. With such a great cast of supporting actors, I sure expected to love it, so why didn't I like this film? Much of it is because the movie's main focus is not on the food, but the main character, and this character is a real jerk face.
He wanted a food documentary.
Yeah, he was like, I want the food to come to life. He loves Sausage Party.
I mean, it was called Chef, and there wasn't a ton of food in it.
But all in all, I don't fit in with most of the other reviewers, as I know there are just many other better foodie films, and you could just do a lot better. 4 out of 10.
I do think, and I thought this while watching, a lot of the themes are similar to The Bear, the show that came out last year or 2 years ago.
I love The Bear.
Why's your point
I
at
think
me?
The Bear, I prefer that, I think.
Because I thought you were Devin at first, and Devin was just over here and talking about The Bear with me.
Does he love it?
Yeah.
We watched the pilot together, the
Mhm.
first 10 minutes of it, and I do want to watch it.
This is very good.
It looks good. And I heard that one of them was shot like Birdman style, all one shot.
I think, yeah, one of them was.
One of the episodes, yeah.
I don't remember that, but maybe.
You would.
Do you love the episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Charlie's work?
Yeah, that
episode is so good.
It's in a season that's like they're starting to go downhill.
Uh-huh.
Like, they're losing.
It's like
quality
season
in
11,
episodes.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's a bad show now, but that episode is great.
You're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one blows me away. Next is by Seth, Snoopy Style.
Ooh.
December 29th, 2014. Big Dog says, Jon Favreau needs a little time to warm up. The movie starts off functionally, then RDJ shows up and injects some much needed hilarity. Sometimes I feel like the kid, but other times I'm not so sure. He's not the easy, super cute type. That's also how I feel about Favreau. The plot is a bit too easy and doesn't really have any tension. It's a light story with some food porn and a bit of cross-country charm. This is more like a light appetizer, but there's nothing wrong with that. 7 out of 10.
And
Or
a moose
food
boosh,
puns.
if you will.
Yeah. What'd
Pretty
you
close
say,
to mine
Lucas?
is Hess. That was just
Yeah.
food puns.
Yeah.
I see you.
One
Play
of
it.
us quoted a moose douche.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah. I
No,
thought you
it was
guys
in the
would have
movie.
that.
Oh.
I thought one of you guys would have it too, so I didn't write it
Yeah,
down.
they called Tony that.
I did not hear that.
I was gonna write it down, but I was like, I had to. That's why I asked you what an amuse-bouche was, because I thought it was an appetizer, and it was.
I
but
thought you were
he
just
called
thinking-
Tony an amuse-douche.
I thought you were just thinking back to Valentine's Day
Oh, and
when Jennifer Garner is.
Do you like balls in an ass? Yeah, I remember.
Within a nice number? I'll take 2.
Oh shit! I'm
You
gonna
laughed
re-listen to that
exactly
one.
like that when I said I'll
fucking
take
did.
2.
Ugh,
You did.
That was a good
did.
one.
Next is by Cosmas Returner on June
Fuck
3rd,
this guy.
2016. Oh, you hate him now?
Always.
No, you've loved him before.
I've hated him.
Listen back like 5 episodes. You said you loved this guy.
This guy deserves to be
Cosmas?
strung up and quartered.
I'm like 10 episodes behind. I'll let you know if you like him or not.
He did one episode.
He did.
He says, I have no idea why anyone would call this movie by this title, but the German distributor thought it would. But the German distributor thought it would be a perfect fit. So who am I to argue? Another thing that cannot be argued with is the passion Jon Favreau went after this, learning the trades of being a chef and really going into as much detail as he deemed necessary. He did not take this lightly, which can be seen throughout. Kiss the Cook. A really fun and enjoyable ride if you let yourself into it. 8 out of 10. I really only put this in here for the I have no idea why somebody would call this movie by this title. It's pretty obvious.
It's called something different in German. It's called Kiss the Cook.
Oh, that's why he put Kiss the Cook in here.
There you go. That is a bad title.
Yeah.
That is a bad title.
Okay, next.
He didn't even kiss anybody.
Rarely.
No, he didn't. You're right.
You can't
He
think of it,
almost
can you?
kissed
He
Scarjo.
almost kissed Scarjo.
Scojo!
Yeah, because her
Poor
Scovilles
li-
are off the charts because she's so hot.
Good recovery.
Thanks,
Continue.
man. But yeah, he like leans into her ear and is like, "Let me cook something for you, girl." And then he does, and she's like, "This is so hot," and then she leaves.
Let me cook that ass up, baby.
She's not cooking her
I think
ass
the
up.
implication was that they fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
They
For sure.
finish with
It's-
their noodles.
Almost entirely certain, but there is a small sect of us, me, that believes that he cooked as a form of kink
Small
for
sects
her,
of
and
us.
she got
Yes.
cooked for as a form of kink, and then they just lay down and don't even touch.
Man,
He
she
cooked
loves
that ass.
restaurants.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's why she's head wait. She could be doing so. She's got a master's, and
Yeah.
she's just a head. She's a maitre d instead.
Next up is by Neil476.
That's me.
On June 27, 2014. They say, credit goes to all the performers. I can understand why it has been referred to as food porn. I could have done with a little less time and a fewer close-ups devoted to shopping, chopping, frying, toasting, and the like. And with one exception, I felt like the bad language was unnecessary. But these are small complaints to aim at a film which has a lot of heart and has left me with a joyful feeling. I think some of the close-up food parts are what make it
Yeah, that's
extra
some of
good.
the best cinematography for sure. Well, I was going to argue with something. What was the second half of that review?
They didn't like the bad language.
Yeah, that was it. It's tough because I think if you want some realism as a chef, you have to have some bad language. But I think an R rating for saying pussy and fuck twice is also hard to justify.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid.
I mean, it's so minor too. Like they could have really went over the top with it. They played it just enough where they had
should
some.
have.
Yeah, they could have just blown it up in the kitchen, but
I think
they
that's
played it
more-
just enough.
The Burnt, that movie has more of that stuff in there.
Oh, I never seen Burnt. You?
No.
Hmm.
I don't even
You?
know what that is.
The Bradley Cooper one.
You?
The one that I talked about in the history.
I think that's supposed to be more like darkly realistic.
Okay.
Ooh, it's kind of scary.
3 more. Returner, No God, No Masters.
Ooh.
April 19th, 2018. He says, there is nothing like a fun family film with a family message and a few F-bombs tossed in for the kiddos. Carl must go from being with Molly, in quotes, will have sex for food, to living off the charity of his
What?
still loving ex-wife
Yeah,
Inez,
that's true.
Sofia Vergara. I wish I had his kind of bad luck. Carl succumbs to his wife's idea of attaining a food truck, which causes him to bond with his son and other formulaic ideas to the point of nausea. The problem I had with the script and film is that it tried too hard to create a feel-good formula film. It seemed plastic and fake. The characters and the situations never seemed real, which makes this movie nothing more than a substandard comedy. A mildly entertaining film, 5 out of 10.
He didn't like
Will
it.
have sex for food.
The air quotes always get me when you do those. I know they're on there, but it's
I
funny
know.
when you do this.
And my penultimate one is by J-Rog Jr. He fucking died.
It's Junior Rog instead of Big Rog.
Junior OG Jr.
No.
October 26th, 2020. He says, "My name is Chef."
He didn't.
He did. "My name is Chef. This movie is what made boys into men and men into gods." 10 out of 10.
I'm just as dumb as this guy, huh?
What
That's
the
where
fuck?
I fall in the social ladder.
This made us all Vishnu. Watch out.
Don't try to fight Vishnu at 3 a.m. Prank gone wrong. It's
What the fuck is
clickbait.
that?
People are gonna click on it.
And my last one is by Impending DD. March 25th, 2020. Nice.
You can't do it with the date.
It worked though.
Every fucking review.
This guy says, "Man, this was cringy. Favreau wants to be Latino so bad."
Kind of.
1 out of 10.
That's funny. I was thinking about
A
that
little bit.
earlier. How I think that he had a lot of that. Well, I mean,
There's a whole thing about him going to Little Havana, and the Cuban girls like, your Cubanas are way better than these Cubans
yeah,
in
that
Miami.
it was like he lives in
Welcome
LA,
to
so he's
Miami.
gonna have a lot of like Latinos just in the community and working with
Sure.
him. But I did get a sense of like not him wanting to be Latino, but
Him doing his little dances.
yeah, but more just like him wanting to be viewed in the movie as like a worldly guy. Like he doesn't even care if you speak Spanish. He's cool with that
Yeah.
actually, and he's just being like one of those chill white guys. You know what I mean? Like he's not mad at you for being
He's got
foreign.
tattoos.
Yeah.
Which I don't. He doesn't.
He wore
have,
the
does he have
headband.
tattoos?
He wore the handkerchief headband.
He had one on
real
his
life?
arm, like the classic. I don't know about real. I don't think real life.
I don't
He
know.
had a couple in the movie because he had the
Chef
flag of
tattoos.
California, the bear, the Soul Republic,
Oh, he
or whatever,
did.
on his arm. So he's
I
definitely
should get the
going for
Montana
it.
one.
No,
But
the
that
Montana one's dumb, isn't it? Like it's close to like the Argentina flag, I think, unless I'm thinking of the wrong one.
well, that's gonna end it this week.
Goodbye.
Are we recommending
Sick.
Chef?
Recommending?
Yeah.
To whom?
If
You don't have to ask that. Blanket
think-
statement.
I think strictly before 2 p.m. I think is my recommendation.
It's
You
a
got to start it
matinee.
before then. Yeah.
I've watched it in bed at 10. Holds up.
PM?
Yeah.
AM to the PM?
I think a
To
10
the
p.m. in bed
into the
movie.
PM font.
You want
Hmm.
a thriller. You want something dark and moody. at
No,
10
it's
p.m.
too
No, not
scary.
yeah, I was gonna say it's way too
That's
scary.
scary.
That's scary. What do you?
Bedtime.
Ooh.
No,
His
that's your
adrenaline going when he's trying to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Grown-ups don't watch
The
scary
last two
movies.
And
the
this-
last
grown-ups
two
don't
nights
get
I
scared.
went to
Last
bed at
time
9 p.m. and 10 p.m.
Huh?
Yeah.
I went to bed at 9 p.m. and 10 p.m.
Too.
Listen, Lucas, grown-ups don't watch scary movies because grown-ups don't get scared.
And I got
Idiot.
up the last 2 days
You
at
got
on
thrilled. You
the,
got thrilled.
on the weekend on my
It's
days off. I got up at 8 a.m. and 6:20 a.m.
Look at this fucking cringe lord. I woke up at 1 p.m. accidentally today.
Yeah, you would have
Yeah,
slept
boo-hoo.
longer, but I called you.
I woke up at
I woke up at
9:30 and I was
5
like, this
Every
sucks.
day for the golf course.
I would have been fired immediately.
Which is facts.
So, are you recommending this, Seth?
To whom?
Anybody?
Blanket statement?
Yes.
Well, since my feet are cold and I would like a blanket, yes. I recommend it to.
You said before too. I'm gonna recommend it. I love this
yes,
movie.
before two. Yes, because I'm cold, and yes,
And
because
yes.
it's a good movie
Yeah.
from Brandon.
So 3 S's. That's gonna end Chef. And next week we've got a 2023 film called Cocaine Bear. Originally when this title came up, when it was just Lucas and I doing the podcast for a while, we're like, oh shit, we're gonna have to do Cocaine Bear. And then we brought it up in our writer's blocks too. So now that it's come out, I feel like we have to do Cocaine Bear. Because
Our
why
most
not?
recent movie to date, yeah. Taking Lyle's
didn't-
position, thank goodness. Our most
I didn't
recent
hear anything
movie.
you said. What?
This will be
Most
our
recent-
most recent movie.
Relative to when we record the episode.
Except when we do Transformers.
well, also ever. But
Except when we do Transformers 6 after Transformers 6 comes out.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that'll
gonna
be
be awesome. Can't wait.
How are we
I've
going to
heard
take
good
notes
things,
and
but
quotes
yeah.
in the theater?
How are we gonna take notes and quotes?
in the theater.
Cell phone flashlights.
Yeah, we aim them at the screen and write it in. We burn it onto the screen. The
Someone
lighter.
tells
And then
us
we-
otherwise,
and
kick
then-
their
and then we-
fucking ass.
just
There's
bring
then
three
a
we-
of us.
notebook.
And then we write that down afterwards.
We write it down at home. Just bring a notebook. I've done notes on this before. Robert wrote a full like half a notebook.
I freaking wrote part of my homework when I was in a theater once as a freshman. When I saw a movie, did some
You know
homework.
how many notes I
see?
take? You know how cramped my hand's gonna be?
I don't give a shit, man. We gotta do it.
How am I gonna eat popcorn?
All right. Well, here's the other option, Brad.
Through a
We go in.
straw.
We talk to the manager of the theater at the time. We say, "Hey, we're on a podcast.
We have a really super successful movie
No,
podcast.
you can just say
Will
I-
AMC sponsor us?
You can just say running a podcast. You can say, "Is it cool if I sit in the back with a laptop and just write down notes?" He'll say no in case you're a bootlegger. So there is one option of notebooks.
Okay.
That second option was a lie.
Anyway, we're doing Cocaine Bear. We hope you enjoyed Chef.
Oh yeah, we're still recording. Sorry.
Season 7. Send Lucas some TikToks, some dance moves. He needs to
No.
dance.
Don't have TikTok.
So send them to him anyway.
Yeah, send them to Brandon, and then he'll send them to me, and I'll send them to Lucas.
And I'll send them to Lucas too. And with that, we'll see you next week.
Later.
Kadoosh.
I think it's cooler if I just say later.
Season 7 is cool, guys.
It's cool, Seth. Now he's cool, dog. Still
I'll have to
horny,
get some
but now he's
vagina.
cool. Cool dog. He's out here getting pussy.
The only difference is now you're succeeding. Yeah, you were horny last time, and
Yeah, and now I'm just
now
getting
you're
it.
succeeding in your quest.
I got it on demand. It's getting Uber. I'm at
Ooh.
Uber Eats, and I'm eating out tonight.
Ooh, that'd be
Eating out women.
Yeah, they deliver
an
pussy
Uber
to my
Eats for
doorstep.
prostitute.
Yeah, but there's like there's contactless delivery where they just leave her on the doorstep.
I mean, they don't ring the doorbell. They just send you a picture of her.
She's laying there.
Here's your woman.
Yeah, that'd be great. I can just go out, eat real quick on the doorstep, and then go. She never has to come inside.
Yeah, you just leave her out there.
Yeah, I come inside, but she doesn't come inside.
Oh.
Everybody sees.
I'm glad nobody watches.
He always orders Uber Eats, or DoorDash in the morning too. It's like his breakfast. Everybody's watching as he's going to work. Like, there's Big Dog again.
Dude, we turn the
Mindy.
mic off.
YouTube's still going. Mic is off, and as soon as it goes off, we're like, "What if they could deliver pussy to your house?" Like, house.
What if I could eat it on my doorstep?
Yeah, he would.
She's laying on the grass, nude. I come out there, do my business. We never speak again.
This is vile.
This is
And you only tip the driver.
TGTBTMAH after hours.
You don't tip the person.
Yeah, I tip the driver, and he also gets to eat some pussy.
And he gives his tip.
He comes back and pick her up.
Someone ate this before they got here. It's missing the asshole. You pay for it all.
I paid for the whole lady, and somebody ate her ass.
Not bad.
And they ate my
Or it's like
fries
drink.
too. You also
And-
DoorDash McDonald's.
Her toes.
I'll have some pussy and a side of fries.
The fries are her toes. course.
It's not real
You guys
fries.
ever
it's-
prostituted before?
Have I ever prostituted before?
Yeah,
Yeah.
gaseously.
Gashing.
Yeah, well, tooted. Gas.
No, gashing because of the gash.
You're stuck on this. All right.
What's it
I don't-
called?
The service.
Yeah.
It's vagina dining. I couldn't think of anything
Vagina.
better.
I was trying to think of a pun off of Postmates, but
No, you got to start with pussy and then you work your way into the food
Postmates.
aspect.
Postmates.
Postmates.
Postmates. Yeah, easy.
But instead we're going with vagina diamonds. We're locking that in.
Not diamond.
Oh, what did you say?
Dining. Vagina dining.
Oh, I thought you said vagina diamond.
And
That doesn't make any sense.
I know.
Vagina and dash is good.
And dives and drive-ins.
Uber queefs.
Diners. What is the whole thing? Diners,
Diners,
drive-ins,
drive-ins,
and dives.
Yeah, we do it. This is getting out of control.
Door gash.
Diners, drive-ins, and muff dives.
Yeah, I saw
Door
that.
gash.
Because you go head first. Door to ass to mouth. Yeah, maybe we should stop.
We regress.
That's-
I can't wait for somebody to watch. If anybody watches the YouTube all the way through,
I'm gonna specifically request that they don't, but then they will. So I'm
Yeah.
actually just not gonna mention it.
You're right.
Yeah.
Streisand effect. All right, see you boys.
Bye,
Later.
Lucas.